blast off, I hope.
I'm still annoyed, by the way.
Oh? It's just in general.
No, 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 no. I'm still
And
annoyed that
life.
you. No, no. Well, yeah, but that goes without saying mostly. I am still annoyed that I had to censor myself last week.
Oh, I know, but it had to be done. It had to be done.
The show's not got enough scope to even cause a fuss.
I mean, if I'm being honest, yeah, last week was not good, Pete. It wasn't good.
Well, I looked at the numbers. They were all right, actually. If you take into account the
Our
Twitch numbers,
stream,
they're
yeah,
fine. They're
Twitch is
fine.
doing great.
No,
Yeah,
after over no. If you add this is what I'm saying. If you add them all together, they're actually
yeah.
not bad still.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, Twitch is doing great, but I'm
Audio
sad.
wise, yeah. Okay.
I'm
No,
sad.
I know
We've
where you're
never
coming
gone.
from.
We've never gone that many days, without a new download in a
Oh,
row,
okay.
and I,
Yeah.
you know,
Well.
I was a little bit like, oh, they forgot
Mm.
about us. But it's
But it's
okay. It's you know what? It's that time of year. People are back in school. People are back at work. They're getting ready for the holidays coming up.
yes.
You know.
Yes, they are. Also, just to let you know,
Uh-huh.
I am. We are going to cover a silly story later,
Oh, good.
and this
I like.
may eventually become a bit of a recurring theme
I like
of our
silly.
news episodes.
Okay. Well, they're all news episodes now.
No, well, I'll get to that later. You'll find. You may
Oh,
find out what it
you've been machinating.
machinating.
Okay, that word. Masticating. That means chewing.
I'm fully aware. Emasculating.
Masters
I just thought we
debating.
were doing word association here. Oh, well.
Ah.
Did you ever watch the film Van Wilder, Party
Oh,
Liaison?
I have not seen that in years, but that is my first Ryan Reynolds film.
Okay. We're just going to play a little word association here.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm glad you knew
Yep.
what I meant as soon as
Yep.
I said that. Oh, I love it.
Oh.
Milk. Oh god.
Oh.
That was my first Ryan Reynolds movie, but
Yeah.
I watched Two Guys Ago on a Pizza Place before that.
I never watched that.
It was crap.
I don't think I even knew it existed until way later. I didn't really watch a lot of TV. I only watched,
No.
Jesus.
Weirdly enough, it was the first series was Two Guys Ago on a Pizza Place, and then they just cut it down to Two Guys and a Girl.
Oh no, the pizza place got fired.
Unfortunately, so yeah. I think the whole point of the story of it is that they all end up getting fired from there.
Oh my gosh. Did you see what I called this episode stream? I'm at the stream.
Well, I'm getting to that. I was
Oh.
sort of just because I'm running a bit late. I was loading up the news stories for today.
I'm
It
so.
can't be good if you're asking me about it.
Oh, it fits with the theme. Oh man, I really don't feel good. I'm still so not well. Howdy, Nana.
I was gonna say I'm not sure you can say anything.
What?
Well, remember I podcasted with COVID 2 weeks in a
Oh,
row.
I know you did.
Suck it up, Buttercup.
Oh, bueno. Are we talking about FM this week or next? Next week.
Next week because we're not privy to the early access. At least I wasn't paying for it anyway. Look. I didn't do it with Starfield, and I wasn't going to do it with Forza Motorsport, despite the fact I really wanted
I was
to.
gonna say I'm actually surprised, Pete, because I would have thought that would be your
No.
thing.
Well, I'm playing it on Game Pass.
Yeah.
Therefore, meaning I don't own the game.
Yes.
So I'm not going to pay early access for a game I don't own.
I suppose that makes sense.
If I play it on Game Pass and quite enjoy it, I might buy it.
Good evening.
So, hello, Nana. Hello, Brent. And hello, Nana. And Mike, sorry. Nana gets it twice. Good stuff. Great stuff.
Oh my goodness.
How are we? How are we all?
I hope you guys are well. I was not well this week. Oof. I got sicky. But not Pete's sicky, not that kind. I didn't get COVID, even though it's everybody at the gym has COVID except me.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Mike, you never feel like you have to be here the whole time. If you want to listen to it the next day on Spotify, please do. We
Yes,
relish
please
the
do.
audio listens.
This week wasn't good. It wasn't good. But the stream was great.
It was, yeah.
But the YouTube and Twitch,
Wow.
audio was
Damn.
great.
I'm about to finish my first playthrough. First playthrough? I thought you were done.
Yeah.
Took me about 200 hours.
See, they dropped those mods. I'll be back into it. I'm gonna play it on PC though.
I'm going to say that performance on PC was surprisingly solid.
Yeah.
Actually, it was like when I was. It was a real weird situation because I was so used to playing it on PC. Downloaded it on Xbox so that I could. Well, parents were away for a few days and lying on a sofa feeling really crappy.
Yeah.
I played it and obviously, it was 30 frames per second on the console.
Oh goodness.
Yeah.
Oh,
Forza
dear.
Motorsport. No.
Oh.
FM Forza Motorsport. Or Forza, whatever you pronounce it. Crud. I'm joking. Right, Mike Tendo put, I've not even put in that for Tears of the Kingdom, clocked out at about 100 to 120.
Oh,
nice.
You know what's weird? Tears of the Kingdom has really kind of dropped off. It was so big when it dropped. I don't know if people just finished it or... I mean, it's such a good, solid puzzler, you know?
It is, but I think the fact is that what... And this has been had quite a lot between various different podcasts, various different content creators. I think the thing is that the Breath of the Wild stuck around for so long because of the physics engine. It was new, it was quite exciting, you know, all the things that could be discovered in this. Whereas Tears of the Kingdom direct sequel set in the same world, so there's not as much exploration and all that. Yes, you have the new mechanics with the fusing and all that, but it's not quite the same as it was with the first game. So I just don't think it's captured the imagination quite the same. Mike, would I be wrong in that?
I'd say that makes sense.
Is that how you felt, possibly?
As a non-Switch player.
Yes.
Chat's talking about racing, Pete.
Yes, they are, actually, funnily enough. Nana says, speaking of which, NASCAR has got out of their motorsports game deal. Really? Who did they have to deal with? Okay. Oh, he said, and Brent's put he may finish the playthrough during the stream. Fair enough. Sweet. Awesome. I mean, surely you should be paying full attention.
Yeah. Yeah, because goodness knows I do that. I pay full attention. Well, I do during our stream. No comment.
So you remember a game called L.A. Noire?
Yeah. Hells yeah.
Yes. Well, you remember the famous meme that came out of that?
Yes. Press X it out.
Oh, there you go.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
You've just explained it yourself.
Yes.
Thank you.
I always pay attention. Did you see the title of this stream yet? I am sweating to death already.
What, you mean, and we are latey? I mean, it's not that bad. I've seen worse.
Oh, yes. Definitely. I
still mostly think Link the Twink is probably still the worst.
You mean best?
I probably should. I will tell you something off.
Oh, okay.
That relates to that later. I will tell you that. Remind me later if you do remember.
Okay. Let's see. Nana said, to be fair, watching playthroughs of L.A. Noire, you could make a lot of memes out of that game. Yeah, you could, because it was one of the first motion capture games. It's so well.
And Bondi Studios, wasn't it? Who created the game alongside Rockstar. That was a complete S show.
I know, but I still love the end product.
It was ambitious, at least.
Very ambitious.
It was just the fact that it completely tanks the company as a result.
It did, but
there's a really, really good video on it. Actually, it's the series that's done by Matt McMuscle. It's called What Happened.
Right.
and they did a
Cool.
really good breakdown of LA Noire because it goes obviously into the details of what was happening behind the scenes and all of that, and their weird CEO,
Oh, I love them
the
weird
weird
CEOs.
CEO.
Yeah. Um.
I say weird, probably not weird, probably more an actual
Oh,
git.
yeah. I'm gonna say a hole,
Yeah, probably
e
more
whore.
appropriate to call him a complete a-hole.
But I'll tell you, the main reason I love LA Noir, just not. I mean, it was a good game. Terrible ending. Um. But I
Was it a good game though?
Well, I liked it because I like detective stuff. But I
Yeah, so do
really,
I.
but the main reason I really liked it was because I love mid-century stuff, which is like the 1950s, 1960s stuff. And I spent hours just picking up crap and looking at it, going, hmm,
Oh, no
this
wonder
is
you
very,
liked it then. You were
yeah,
just investigating every
I
inch and
was.
nook and
I
cranny
was
and
looking
crevice
at
of it.
the curtains, the furniture, the lighters, all of it. I was just like, oh, I love this so much. Um, but the ending was terrible. I didn't like
I
that.
never got as far as the ending.
It's a
I
twist
got
ending.
I got quite about a quarter of the way through,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, you can definitely tell the rock star influence in the game
Yes, yes. Except,
because can I just be honest and
mm-hmm.
say this? And
Sure,
this has been a criticism that I've had for many, many years, and it's still a criticism I have of Rockstar
sure.
games. They have PS2 level
Mm.
mission design. They
Yes, you do
still
say that.
never changed
Now,
it,
it's
ever.
it's like that in Red Dead Redemption 2 as
Yeah,
well.
it's why I stopped playing Red Dead Redemption 2 when I did.
I like it. I like the mission
No,
structure.
no shit.
I loved it.
I mean, you've never once talked about Red Dead Redemption 2 and how much you
Nope,
like it on this
never.
show.
It did. You know what, guys out there in TV land, I love Red Dead Redemption 2. Just in case you didn't know that. But Mike played it L.A. Noire, not Red Dead.
Yeah, I
Uh,
know.
on Switch, which is interesting. I hadn't thought of that. That could work.
It could.
And wasn't the absolute best, but wasn't terrible. Nana's posted a link that I can't look at.
I'm gonna look at it now because I'm now worried about what it. So SGB highlights. You're making a big mistake. Oops, from Lions Eat Noobs. That's the content creator.
Those words make sense to me in that
I
order.
guess it's a stream highlight. I guess.
Oh, right.
So I will watch that later on. It's on
Because
my
there are
it's on my
naked
watch
people.
now.
No, there are naked people in Eleanor.
Yes, there is.
Mostly naked girls.
Oh,
So lesbian and straight guys and bi people get everything.
okay.
I get
Maybe I was too harsh on LA Noir.
nothing. Well, to be fair, Pete, at least one of those is a dead girl. So.
I mean, I'm not into necrophilia, you know, but each their
Hey,
own.
Cincha.
Hello, Sencho. What a way to come into here.
What a line to come into!
Right, I'll leave you a chat for a moment.
Gosh. Oh dear.
Sorry,
So,
Sencho.
we've now established that Pete's not into necrophilia, so that can go in the wiki. Although, I mean, Skyrim's got necromancers. Yeah, Sancho, I never question anything on this podcast. Yeah, never. Yeah, I just take it. Yep.
Oh, God.
No, we were discussing LA Noir. The fact
Yes,
that
yes,
it
we
has
were.
naked girls, which a lot of games have naked girls, but they don't really have naked dudes unless you download mods for them. Not that I want to, like, I don't really, it's not that I don't like naked people. They're just very clinical to me. Does that make sense?
Yes, I know what you mean.
It's just very, like,
I also wonder about the state of this comment, to be honest. Both of the
dear.
comments from Sencho, where it says, I never question anything on this podcast. I just take it.
Yep.
That's what she said.
Oh, it's gonna be one of those episodes. Yeah, we're kind of getting started, but I'm kind of glad.
We are, yeah.
Because I think
Sorry.
that's giving people more of a chance to show up.
Unless you're talking about Saints Row, Mike. Oh, sorry.
Oh, yes.
The jiggle
Oh,
physics aren't there
you
for
made me
male
sad,
members.
Pete. Saints Row is not like it used to be.
I made myself sad.
Oh.
That's
Jizzle
why I went,
physics.
oh.
Yeah.
That reminds me, I do need to actually go into whatever you call it over here. CX, KEX, sex, don't know. I probably should go and buy Saints Row 1 and 2 physical,
Yeah,
because
it's
they are
so
backwards
good.
compatible.
Oh, very good. Oh, Centro says, what? Oh, yes, Jizzle physics.
Oh my god.
I watched TMNT the other day. It's so good. See, people don't give it a fair chance. See, I saw a preview of it and it made me laugh out loud, so I wanted to see it. April
Well, I'm
sucks.
glad
To be
he says that
fair,
April sucks, to be fair.
they should have just gave her a different name and made her a different character. Why she gotta be April? She ain't April. Uh, but the animation is much better than people give it credit for. See, it looked good to me.
I thought from the animations from the trailers, I thought it looked like it was made by a 15-year-old, but that's just my opinion. I think that type of art style is not for me.
Yes. I think the comment that Mike made makes me giggle, but I can't say it out loud.
What you mean, jizzle physics?
No, I will be banned.
Oh,
but,
sorry. What comment from Mike?
the April joke.
Oh, apparently that April sucks
Yes.
and blows and all blows.
Oh my goodness. But,
I'm pretty sure she sucked down a couple of pizzas.
yes. See, I'm not.
I don't care. That's a bit too frumpy to be April.
Well, that's the thing. They should just give her a different name and let her be her own character.
Yes, that's fine. No, I have not seen it yet. I will be choosing to watch it when it comes on Sky, where it's part of my subscription.
I might have things on my brain. But what I was going to say was I just love animation. I just do. There's like a little bit of animation out that I don't like, but it's very rare. Although I still say
Sorry. I need to address this comment.
Sure.
It wasn't directed by Seth Rogen, but it was very much produced by him.
Yeah.
The eternal 15-year-old, yes.
I like the stuff he produces. I don't like the stuff he's in, if that makes sense.
Okay.
But
look, I respect your opinion, Sencho. I will give it a watch. I've always been wanting to watch it, but I wasn't willing to pay money for it. Does that make sense? I'd rather not my money going to Seth Rogen's weed habit.
I want
pizza. Anyway.
I want to eat pizza so bad. Besides being celiac, and I can't, but I'm also losing weight at an alarming rate. Not alarming, a very happy rate. I don't want to ruin it.
Gluten-free pizza is just not the same, is it?
No, it's okay. It gets the job done because I really only care about the toppings anyway, but it's not the same. Especially when I managed a pizza place for 3 years. So,
nice.
Stuck eating cardboard pizza.
2007. It was a 2007 animated movie, wasn't it, for TMNT? Mm-hmm. Okay, I wasn't sure if. Oh, phew! I thought you meant the Michael Bay ones.
Oh gosh, no!
Oof.
Oh goodness!
I mean, there is only one good thing out of those, and I'm gonna be just gonna say
Megan okay.
You mean that absolute plastic bimbo?
She was
who vowed never to work with Michael Bay again, but yet worked with Michael Bay again for a big paycheck.
Yeah, I know. She's got issues.
No, it was Out of the Shadows, actually. It's the second one. And they did, I think, at the time, probably the perfect Casey Jones casting with Stephen Amell,
really?
who played Green Arrow.
Yes, yep.
And I thought he was a good Green Arrow as well, actually. The first seasons, the first 2.5 seasons of Arrow was actually decent.
I haven't seen it yet, but I've seen him in other things.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember what, but I liked it. But yes,
yes, she does. I've seen that. I can't see this. Hilarious.
Oh goodness.
God,
Well,
so bad.
I
I did see that as well, Mike. It was quite a consideration to possibly go.
when I was the kid and we had Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles on VHS, the cartoon, and they used to show the reruns too. I think I talked about that before. I had a crush on Raphael and Shredder. And I have a thing for bad guys. Because I had a crush on Shredder and I had a crush on Darth Vader and Gambit and
Oh, anti-hero.
yes, and hence my love for Deadpool. They just need to be loved.
Even though he looks
That's
like
all.
an old avocado having
Yes.
sex with an
An
even
older-
older, uglier avocado.
They just need someone to love them, and then they'll be okay.
Vanessa loved him.
I can fix him. Yes, see? I can be Vanessa. They should let me be Vanessa. They better make her copycat.
Wait, how the hell did I remember that was the name of his girlfriend from frickin' Deadpool 1 and 2?
Uh-huh, Pete. Who's been secretly watching Deadpool, huh? I
clearly just have a good memory for bad movies.
Uh-huh. I think we've uncovered a conspiracy here. Pete has a secret love of Deadpool that he's hiding from all of us.
I've watched the first one twice.
I've watched it probably 25 times.
No, I've watched it once. I watched it the first time and was like, this is quite bad. And then the second time I was like, maybe I was too harsh on it. I should try it again. Nope. No.
Oh, that's what
I was
he
still
said in that
justified and never
scene, too.
watched it again.
Oh.
Oh, we're going here again.
Happy International Women's Day.
Should we get this absolute shit show on the road?
Yes. Yes.
My God. I'm not even acknowledging the chat at this moment. Jesus.
Oh my goodness. I'm gonna pour another glass. I've had a terrible week, which we will talk about.
Yes, we shall.
Shortly.
I will wait until you finish pouring.
That's what she
Oh my God.
said?
Is that the leftovers from last week?
Yeah, that's what this is. Yes, this is not a new one. This is not a new one.
That's what I was going to say. Thank God. That would have been gone pretty quick.
No. And I'm going to try to stick to this glass, but we know that's not going to happen, so I brought my backup.
Okay. Well, then it's asked what we're drinking this week. Oh, Shy Pig. Yes. I've heard of those. They're pretty good.
Yeah, they're okay. They're budget wines when you need it quick and...
Yeah, but that's what I mean. Pretty good for a budget wine.
Cheap and easy.
That's what she said.
Okay. Oh, gosh.
Yeah, that's why I was waiting for you to finish pouring, so you didn't cause any background noise and destruction.
Okay, compose myself.
Right. Talent, are you ready?
Yes. Yes, I am.
Right, okay, so the producer, the director, the editor, all that is ready to go. Let's go. And co-star.
Everything? Okay, yeah.
Okay, alright. I'm essentially Alfred Hitchcock.
That's true, you are. Oh, that's funny. Oh,
yeah, I mean, I star in my own movies, clearly.
I was gonna say, and that makes me Janet Leigh.
I mean...
Or Tippi Hedren. I'll take either one.
Either is fine.
Yeah.
Either is
Works
fine.
for me. Cheap gets done. Okay.
That's what she said as well. I mean, I'm not going to make the quote. No, better not do it. Let's get on. Right. Okay, I'm recording. So, 3, 2.
Welcome to Rapid Reviews Radio Podcast, episode 180. Holy crap, Pete. There's only 20 left until 200. I did
180.
Yes.
Darts reference.
Oh, great. I don't play darts. I would love to play darts, but I would probably poke somebody's eye out. But I still try it. I like pointy, sharp objects. But yeah, 180. Oh yeah, I'm your co-host, Kiley Wilde, and I am joined by my ever-present co-host, Pete Beckett. And today, I can tell you already.
Hello. All right, I'll get a chance to say hello. Hello. What a mess this already is. Shall we start again?
Okay, so the vibe in the studio is goofy. Okay, we are not under the influence yet. of anything, but it is just a goofy vibe. So strap in and get ready and strap on. Because we are going to take you on a wild ride. Mr. Toad's Wild Ride. I love Mr. Toad. I just love...
And there I was picturing the music from Marvel vs. Capcom 2.
Oh, goodness.
I'm going to take you for a ride.
Of course Pete would reference that. Of course. But...
First thing that came to my head. Can't help it. You think of dirty jokes, I think of games references.
It's true. I have a permanent residence set up in the gutter. But... that is not what we're talking about today. No. We're going to start. I'm ignoring chat. Our chat is wonderful. First of all, okay, I'm going to take a moment to do our public service announcement. We have probably the best chat, and I adore them. You should come join us over at twitch.tv/rapid reviews. First of all. Second of all, I'm going to make this plea before we start and after we end. Please come listen to us and watch us because we haven't been getting a lot of traction. If you could share us with your friends and neighbors and family and dogs. Let your dogs listen to the podcast.
Yeah, look, whenever you go out, just put Twitch on.
Yeah.
Stick a podcast on. Just let them enjoy it.
Spotify, be great.
We can't be held accountable if the dog tears the house up, though.
Yeah, that's not on us. That's on you, buddy. But but I do like to start the show every week and ask my co-host or my guest if they're there, but I don't have a guest right now. My co-host, how his week's been. So Pete, how has your week been?
Been alright. It's been mostly okay. Just been working away as per usual. Played golf over Saturday, and spent a bit of time with Rach. And that's about it. Today I've had the fam over. And yeah, it's just a pretty basic week, let's be honest.
Look, basic weeks are good.
Yeah, can't argue with it. Got a few game sessions in with my group. Got some good amount Among Us on Friday. Played some Rocket League on Thursday, I think. That's about it. Oh my god.
Yeah, chat.
Yeah, let's ignore the chat for the moment. This is a distraction.
They're so good. They know
they are
how
great.
to get
they
us.
are great.
Oh gosh. Especially, I'm gonna call them out. Sencho and Mike have such a good chemistry together that they better not start a rival podcast. Or if they do, they should come under the umbrella of Kiley and Pete's Rabbit Radio podcast tree.
Yes, you should. We're in talks about starting a network.
Yes,
potentially.
That's it.
So.
Yeah. We're in contract talks. But
I mean, it's a tough negotiation. Let's be honest.
Yeah, exactly. Whew, buddy, they sure want a lot in that back room. But...
That's what she said.
I didn't say back door. I said back room. But
same thing. You still need a back door to get to it.
Oh my gosh, this episode, guys. I hope you're hanging in there.
We've had a lot of people check out probably already.
Oh, I'm sure. They were heard the first 2 minutes and were like, "Oh, this is why I stopped listening."
Oh, okay. They're being silly again. All right, let's not take them seriously.
Oh goodness. Yeah.
Look, everyone loves banter, guys.
Yes. This is where I take the opportunity to plug my still favorite episode of all time, which I believe is 92.
Okay.
Yeah, the one where we just let loose, and it is still.
Oh my god, yeah, that was bit
chaotic. Best.
Anyway, how was your week?
My week. So my week is I got sick. I got sick and slept for 18 hours. It wasn't good. But so that happened. But I decorated my house for fall, which the UK doesn't do. But I'm American, so I bring my culture with me.
Okay, what do you mean by decorate the house for fall?
Well, the throw pillows on the couch, I put autumn and fall pillowcases on, and I hung up an autumn wreath, and I put a light up pumpkin with this little jack-o'-lantern face, and I'm so American when it comes to that stuff.
You do you. It's absolutely fine.
Yes.
It's not my idea of fun, but .
Yeah, and yeah, well, I don't know that it's fun. Maybe it's fun, I don't know. Um
Well, clearly you do.
I I like just like sitting there smelling my pumpkin candle. I don't drink pumpkin spice lattes, believe it or not. I drink gingerbread flavored ones. I like that better. Which
Are
okay,
you one of these pumpkin spice latte people?
no, I'm not a PSL person. That's what they call it, PSL.
Oh
Uh,
my god, they have. Oh,
I knew that would get feet. I knew it.
so you are one of those people then?
No, I'm actually not. Like I had my first one last year, ever. It was a little too sweet for me, but you know, that's how that goes. So I've been drinking my gingerbread lattes that I made myself, um, with my sugar-free gingerbread flavoring. That's the word. Um, but yeah,
I don't
outside,
know what's worse,
what gingerbread?
pumpkin spice latte or gingerbread latte.
Gingerbread has ginger in it. I love me some ginger. Oh, so I cannot believe, guys. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about this video game related, not at all thing. They have cookies over here. I'm sorry, biscuits over here in the UK called ginger nuts.
Yes, I know about ginger nuts. Have you never honestly seen them before?
When I got here, I did, and they still crack me up because they're like, you see these like really proper old ladies drinking their tea, and they're like, "Oh yes, can I have a pack of those ginger nuts?" You want some ginger nuts? How did those ginger nuts taste?
The worst part is that one of my gaming group is a redhead, so we
See,
get these kind of
that's
jokes
what
all the
happens.
time.
That's what happens. One of my trainers, he's not so much ginger now because he's gotten older, but he's ginger. And he's like, yeah.
Sorry, that comment from Mike is brilliant.
Oh no. What does it say?
It says ginger nuts are very popular in Scotland. That's very good. That's very good.
Oh, yes.
Oh, I'm gonna have to ignore the chat until later. I'm sorry.
Oh,
That is
yes.
such a distraction. That you guys rule.
They've got. Tell me. Okay, so I don't watch British Bake Off. I should, but it makes me want to eat and cook things, so I don't watch it. But tell me, please, out there, in Never Neverland, somebody they had to have had a bake off of ginger nuts, and someone had to say, I love the mouthfeel of the ginger nuts. Please tell me someone said
No,
that.
what would be more funny is hearing it from Mary Berry.
Yes, please tell me Mary Berry talked about the mouthfeel of ginger nuts. I would be the happiest person on the planet.
That comment from Sencho as well. Oh my god.
Oh.
Says we have a pre-filled chocolate thingies called Dickmans over here. Damn, Super Dickman should have been my online tag. I messed up.
Oh my.
Oh my god.
Oh, if Ryan Reynolds.
Oh, it's getting hot in here,
Ryan
Jesus.
Oh. Wow, this is so video game related. But you know what? Maybe this will bring the listeners back. Just our unfiltered ginger.
What, talking about German chocolate thingies called Dickmans?
Yes.
Or Mike saying Uber Dickman. That's my point. Sorry, guys. I have to stop looking at the chat.
Oh my goodness.
This is terrible. This is terrible.
Nan, I think it should be called Rated Regret. Maybe that. Rated R for regret.
Oh, okay, I get it. Very good, very good.
But, yeah, so I'm sorry, our lovely listeners. We need you to come back to the fold. Please join us, though, at the stream, because the stream is where it's at.
Yes.
But we do love everyone equally. You're all amazing.
Yes. Missed a chance for a good segue there as well, but hey, that's fine.
That's all right. I'll tell you, Brent's just mentioned Jaffa Cakes. Now, I'm too American for Jaffa Cakes. I've mentioned this before on the show. I can't do chocolate and orange. I tried, but I'm too American. Chocolate and peanut butter, yes. Chocolate and orange,
no. No, chocolate and orange is very good.
That's what
And a Jaffa
everyone
cake
says.
is fantastic.
I tried it. I did try it.
I know nobody would get the reference, but there was an advert years and years ago where they were showing you how to eat a Jaffa cake.
Oh.
Full moon, half moon,
Mm-hmm.
total eclipse.
Eat
Basically,
the
you
nipple.
eat it in half so it looks like a crescent moon, and then the total eclipse is just gone.
Yep. They did the
Yeah.
same thing with Reese's Buttercups, which are my favorite candy.
Peanut butter, not for me personally.
And they said, oh, it's because you're British. They said there's no wrong way to eat a Reese's. And then that's what they did, that same half moon and full thing.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah. So it did cross the divide in some way then. Except you had it with a piece of crap chocolate with peanut butter.
Okay, the chocolate's not great. Yes, British chocolate is superior, although I think German chocolate may actually be better than British chocolate.
German chocolate is very nice. Irish chocolate is very good too.
Irish is okay. It's okay. But
well, when I was down in
yes.
Dublin, they had Butler's chocolate. Butler's chocolate is very good.
Butler's is very good. Yes, you are correct. You are correct.
Yeah, they had coffee shops of it, and oh my god, that was like heaven.
But we're actually here to talk about video games, believe it or not. Video games.
Yeah, check back next week for our culinary podcast.
Where we talk about cakes and chocolate.
And Mary Berry.
And Mary Berry. It's called
Gobbling Ginger Nuts.
That's what the podcast is called as well.
What, you think I think we should call it Mary Berry Gobbling Ginger Nuts?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, I'm doing it. All right, cool. Even said Sharkies. Brilliant.
Now then, as we can put, there's no way I'm sticking to this one glass of wine. Are you crazy? But anyway, Pete, we are here to talk about video games. That's how you say it in East Texas. But Pete knows more stuff than I do because I didn't read the news this week and I'm not on Twitter anymore and it's pure heaven. So I don't know anything that's happened. So Pete, you gotta take over now.
And again.
Pete, you froze. Try that.
So have you.
What? No way.
Well, you did say you were having problems with your computer, so you know.
It's a bit crazy.
Okay.
Well,
we're back on track now. We're fine. We're good.
Yeah, we're good. We don't even have to edit. We're just gonna go with this. It's organic. Yeah. What's the last thing you heard me say though? Oh no. Okay, so we're having technical difficulties, which I'm not gonna lie, Pete predicted. But it's not my fault. It's really not. I do need to note the time though, because Pete's gonna have to edit this. Pete, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. So you might have to cut from 36 to 37.
Yes.
Yep. Yes. So let's try this again. So anyway, because I'm not on Twitter and I don't know anything, and also I slept like 18 hours at some point, Pete's gonna lead us into the wild blue yonder. I'm waiting till he stops typing.
Sorry, just noting the time.
This week's news stories. Pete, what have you got for us?
Yeah, another week of where I've kept you in dark.
Yes.
Great. Speaking of things that you know were keeping people in the dark, vampires.
Oh, I was thinking more sexy stuff.
Okay, well, do you happen to remember a certain vampire-based game that came out on the Xbox earlier on in the year?
Yeah, Vampire Survivor, that's it.
No, I'm talking about Redfall.
Redfall. We had so much hope for you, and you fell so far.
Excuse me, I had hope for Redfall. You had none.
I had none.
You thought it looked like crap.
I did. I was like, oh, okay. But yes, Pete.
So, the reason why we're talking about Redfall, Bethesda has released a promised 60 frames per second update for Arcane's Redfall and made changes to the game's combat and gameplay.
I want to talk about this, but finish. I know you must finish. I'm going to let you finish.
Yes. Quote, this patch brings a performance mode to Xbox Series X and S, stealth takedowns, new controller setting, accessibility improvements, and much more, Bethesda said. Explore an even more dangerous Redfall with an increased open world enemy population and new encounters. Read on for full list of fixes, including the update. That's clearly from a press statement.
Yes.
So, there is. I can go through the patch notes in a bit. So, last month, Bethesda's head of publishing, Pete Hines, said the company would make Redfall a good game, despite an underwhelming reception at launch.
Okay, finish
Okay,
up.
so I'm not going into that quote. It's pointless.
Okay.
We covered that in absolute major detail. So,
Yes.
following several delays, the first major Xbox exclusive from Bethesda released in May with various technical issues and reviewed poorly, garnering aggregate scores of 56 on Series X and S and 53 on PC on Metacritic. So, shall we talk about what's changed?
Yes, let's do that.
Okay. So, performance and stability. Oh my god, I can't even talk today. Stability. Brilliant. At least my internet doesn't suck. Talk about stability. Hey. Anyway, so enabled a performance mode on Series X and S, as we said. Improved PC performance and stability across a wide range of hardware configuration. Addressed several edge case memory crashes.
Edge case only, 4,000 out of 4,010.
Yes.
Edge cases, my butt.
Anyway, addressed graphical corruption issues when changing resolution with AMD GPUs. Fixed an issue with resetting game settings to the default values while in windowed display on a second monitor.
Oh, I have so much to say.
I didn't even know these were problems.
I have so much to say.
Okay. Anti-aliasing setting is now hidden in video settings while AMD FSR 2.1 upscaling is enabled.
I have so much to say. No, I have one thing to say.
Okay. Various performance improvements made to hero abilities, weapons, and general game systems. Various fixes to support hero abilities triggering properly despite environmental factors like ladders, death mist, electrocution, and more. What?
Oh my gosh.
And now you can see why I put this in. This is funny. I didn't actually read this beforehand. I'm gonna give you a little note into this. I never read these stories beforehand. I just see and think that they're good.
You shouldn't say that, Pete.
I should what? Sorry.
Shouldn't admit to that.
I don't care. I want an authentic and natural reaction when covering the news.
True. Yeah, that's true.
Actually, like so.
Yeah.
Improvements to player navigation and collision across both Redfall Commons and Burial Point. User interface. This Jesus Christ, this long.
Well,
my God.
You probably don't have to read all of it.
No, we will not. Let's cover accessibility because
that's important. Yes.
So improvements to screen narration. Narration updates when the multiplayer lobby state changes between ready and unready. Support when the text entry field is open. Narration updates every 7 seconds if field remains open. Narrates back and friends menu controls on all pages on the settings menu. Support within the username input field for the add crossplay friends submenu. Fixed an issue where players would be prompted to press enter when focused on a username input field in the add Bethesda.net friends submenu.
This is insane. Oh my gosh. My gosh.
Support for navigation controls in Hero Select and System Select menus. Narrates game invites and friend request notifications. When selecting a locked difficulty, the screen describes the difficulty type as locked. When selecting an unlocked difficulty, the screen narrator will narrate difficulty selected. Main menu system tooltip system displays system only, and will narrate system in both menu and system menus. Oh my God. Some of this is bad. I'm not going over all of this anyway. No. So there are some gameplay stuff. So numerous improvements to default aim assist and dead zone turning or tuning. More options for players to customize these settings with both controller and keyboard and mouse. These are arcane recommendations. For fast-paced multiplayer FPS, check out medium, high, or linear input response presets, as they tend to feel faster and more responsive overall. For slower single-player FPS, check out default low or medium input presets, as the slower response curves tends to feel like you have a little more precision over your aim. Increasing and decreasing your controller sensitivity from the input response preset default value will directly increase or decrease your overall left-right turning speeds. Good God. There was a lot. I don't think we should probably go over all of this. This is bad. This is a long list. That is basically the long and short of this.
I don't understand several things, actually. I said this before, and I think it was about this game. What? Yes, chat is popping off like crazy.
No, it's the last comment from Nana. Oh.
No. I'm not ready.
I'll read the comment. Can we admit Bethesda are frauds outside of Elder Scrolls now?
Nope. Bad chat. I said this before, and I think about this game particularly. Why? No, bad chat, bad.
No, Sencho, I wouldn't call them scammers. I want to use the famous internet term that's been had for many a YouTuber out there. Grifters.
Anyway. I don't understand why they didn't do a focus group on this. These are not, what is it? Quality of life or whatever the frick they usually call it.
Yeah, quality of life improvements.
Updates. These are things that should have been done before they even released it. Which, okay, Sinjo did say, which was true. Where was it? I couldn't believe they found all these problems while nobody's playing their game. Yes, it is hilarious, but also true.
It's true. Also, I do love how he says 16 times the detail as well.
I am so, this is what we are continuously seeing from game developers, not just Bethesda, but, all of them. They're just putting out these, crap products just to get them out the door, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And then fixing them later, and even then, they're not quality. We're not getting quality anything. Let's not lie here. Starfield, come on. We're not getting quality anything. And I know that's another Bethesda product, but still not scammers.
Yeah, funny how you default to the two Bethesda products that have come out this year.
Oh my gosh, yes, Redfall 2.0. It just works. Oh, Todd.
Unfortunately, that tagline doesn't work because Todd Howard didn't make this game.
No, and that's the other studio. But the thing is, we have just got crap stuff. I said this on previous shows. I don't remember how far back. Maybe even last week. Who knows? Because that's all we're getting is just crap after crap after crap. And I don't want a crap sandwich anymore. I would like something high quality. I will pay money. I will pay maybe that's what they're doing. They're making it to where we'll pay 70 quid for high quality games. Because I would. Give me a freaking oven ready game. And
well, unfortunately, they already increased the price and it's still happening. So that's not true.
I hate everything.
I'm gonna have to agree. Most of this comes out in complete crappy states. Now, I have been seeing that Forza Motorsport has at least come out somewhat stable and well,
good.
I guess. So, 2 more days and I can play it. Thank God. But I'm just hoping that it's not gonna fall completely apart when it goes, obviously, massive. When it goes into general release is what I was looking for there.
Yes.
Because more player base means that more pressure on the servers. So hopefully it doesn't. But yeah, it's just weird how all these games are coming out completely broken to hell now.
Payday 3? Payday 3 should have been a slam dunk.
Yeah. I'll be perfectly honest with you. I don't think this is Arcane's fault, technically.
Right?
It's their it's their fault. Obviously, that the state of the game was quite bad. Obviously, yes, they have now rectified it. It is probably far too late to try and recover that player base. But that player base apparently went from what was it? It's double digits to triple digits on Steam. So not even a massive improvement at the time. But I think this solely, I say solely, a lot of the blame happens to rest on Microsoft on this one, unfortunately.
I'm gonna
Mostly
agree with you.
because they probably shouldn't have promised that this game was coming out this year and made Arcane actually stick to that.
Yeah, you're not wrong. I think Microsoft is to blame for quite a few of the craptastic things they've dropped this year. I say they,
Yes, Halo
foreshadowing them.
Infinite. Well, just generally
Yeah,
since the Series X
they're.
came out, Halo Infinite is a
Mhm.
huge example of that.
Yeah, Halo Infinite, Starfield again, all of it. But I like both what Sincho and Brent said. Sincho says it's a long con strat, lowering expectations over a decade to then drop an average game that gets praise. Which, okay, I kind of used to pull that as a kid. Like, you do a crappy job, and then you do like a really amazing job, and then your mom like is like, "Oh my gosh, you're so good," and it's like, yeah,
Mm,
totally.
yeah.
Pulled that one out of my ears. Then Brent said, the big question is, should they be putting all this effort into a broken game? It will be on Game Pass forever, so should it be better for future players? Or should they be working on Dishonored 3 instead? I don't know. I think your first question is very, well, I think they're all valid, but I think the first question is very valid, as in, should they be putting all this effort into a broken game? They shouldn't be releasing broken games.
Yeah,
Quality
that's
control, QC,
we
R&D, QC.
may get to something to do with QC and
Oh,
QA later on in the show. We'll talk
okay.
about that. However, in this instance, QA probably should have been done a lot more on this game.
Yeah, it's not that
Um,
difficult.
it should also have been the fact that Phil Spencer and the higher ups at Microsoft shouldn't have put out on an Xbox Developer Direct saying that Redfall is definitely coming out this year when they knew full well it probably wasn't going to be in a serviceable state. And yes, they should fix a broken game because unfortunately, whilst you do state that it is on Game Pass forever, they should make it accessible for future players. But they should also reward those people who spent $70, 70
Yeah.
quid, $70 to play this game who have been majorly disappointed by it.
I'll tell you another thing they shouldn't have done, and I can't believe I'm going to say this. This may come up again later, too, after the show. They should not have made two consoles that were completely, need to be developed for completely separately.
It was a bad choice, actually. I'll give you
I,
that.
it's taken me, what, 3 years to finally admit that? Because I want a cheaper console available to the
Hmm.
the working class, the people that can't afford, even though 250 is still quite a bit, but at least it's more affordable. So I think there should always be a more affordable console. I don't think it's fair not to be, but they're having to develop two entirely separate games for, you know what I mean,
Now, it's a strange one though, isn't it? Because when they first announced that the actual settings or the specs for the Series X and the Series S, we looked at that and we went, "Oh, this is interesting." A lot of people did as well, and went, "This will be interesting." One will be like developing for a high-end PC, and one will be like developing for
Yeah.
a mid-setting PC. That clearly hasn't worked.
No, it has not. It has
Now,
backfired quite a bit.
I don't actually want to say let's scrap the Series S at all because I think having a cheaper price unit out there is a
Yeah,
much better option for the consumer. But they definitely should have had the specs probably on a similar level.
I have to agree.
Just found a way to make it cheaper.
Hmm.
Maybe release the Series X first, then about a year or so down the line, when the revisions we were talking about last week come out, introduce the Series S around about that time and go, look, parts are now cheaper and we can do
Yeah,
this better. Which is what they've always done when it comes to revisions anyway.
yeah.
Like they make a better markup on their consoles because parts at that
They
point are
get
cheaper.
cheaper. Exactly. Exactly. So I just think that was a bad misstep. There's been missteps since day one, and it is
It
like
has.
exactly what Mike just said. What the absolute capital F is happening at all these companies?
Well,
I agree.
we'll get to all of that
Oh,
later.
yes,
We're gonna
continue
get to
on.
some of that later.
Continue
But
on, Pete.
can I do one last thing on this story?
Absolutely. Yes.
can I at least commend Arcane for actually putting the patch out as promised?
Yeah, that's true.
Thank. Look, it probably wasn't their decision to release the game when they did. They were probably
Right,
forced by
no.
hand by Microsoft, Bethesda, or whoever else at the
Probably
higher up to
Microsoft.
do so.
Yeah,
Yeah,
at the
obviously
top.
Bethesda are still publishing technically as well.
Yeah, but I mean that probably came from top down.
Of course
I
it
would
did,
assume.
yeah,
Yeah.
but still, let's commend Arcane for putting work in, getting the job done, getting a patch out there, making the game a bit more stable and a bit more playable for those who do actually want to play it. I don't think it's necessarily going to help, especially when it comes to the Game of the Year conversation,
Definitely
but
not.
it definitely helps those people who spent their hard-earned money, who don't have a lot of money to spend on games,
Yeah.
to then go, okay, I might have a reason to go back. Fair play.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's start talking about the crapshoot that is the video games industry, because boy, this week's been a fun one.
Oh my gosh. Yes. Continue on, Pete. What's the
I'm
next
gonna
story?
well, I'm gonna cover this one pretty swiftly
Okay.
because I don't think this has
Taylor
much to do with.
Swiftly.
She has been all over social media
That's
the
why,
last week or so,
that's
and I
why it
hate
popped
it.
in my head. But yes, Pete.
Yeah, this one's kind of related to video games. We'll talk about it. So, Epic Games will start charging for the use of Unreal Engine
Oh yes, we kind of touched on that last week a little bit.
outside of video game development.
Yeah.
We
What?
called it. Funnily enough, we called it.
Yeah. Holy crap. Okay. Let's delve
So,
into this.
as shared in a video recording by Twitter user Immature Gamer X, great. Epic CEO Tim Sweeney announced the pricing change during the Unreal Fest 2023 conference. At the moment, Unreal Engine is free to use, with Epic charging a 5% royalty fee once a game earns more than $1 million.
Right, which isn't
However,
awful.
Unreal Engine has a variety of non-gaming applications such as manufacturing, and since many of these don't result in video game royalties, Epic makes no money from these users.
Oh dear.
As a result, Sweeney said the next year, Unreal Engine will move to a seat-based licensing model, in which companies pay a license for each employee using it, similar to Adobe products. Oh, we could get into that. Bloody Adobe. For any customers using the product for anything other than video game or for game development. So I quote, "We have an engine that's completely free for anybody to use, but if you're never shipping a product that's royalty bearing, then you'll never pay any money at all," Sweeney explained. And this doesn't affect game developers. But one of the things we're going to change next year is for industries other than game development, such as the automobile industry and so on. We're going to move to a seat-based enterprise software licensing model for UE. We don't have terms to announce yet, but I wanted to get this out in front of everybody for transparency. We're going to move to a model like that.
I don't know.
Nobody was asking.
Yeah.
Nobody was asking, and yet. Yeah. Anyway, so I still quote, "It's not going to be unusually expensive or unusually inexpensive."
Try that again.
What?
Yeah. This is gibberish. This is word salad. Everything you're reading is word salad.
Oh, I know it is. But if you're going to be building a product outside the games industry and not paying a royalty on it, then, it will be licensable piece of software like Maya or Photoshop or whatever. I mean, actually, talking about half-decent products is probably not a good idea.
Although,
That charge a subscription model.
I was going to say, I'm so tired of the subscription model, everything.
Yeah, me too. It's like, it is. We worried about this in a major way, didn't we, a while ago? Like how we were talking about all the streaming services and all that, how people were cutting cords, like, quote unquote, in America to take streaming services, and now streaming services are absolutely taking over, and it's becoming the new cable TV.
It's exactly the same. Yeah, it's insane. But did you want to finish the story out so we can talk about it?
I can't be bothered to read the
good.
rest. It's kind of pointless.
Okay.
But can I read this comment from Zentra?
Yeah. Yes, you
because
can.
this is relevant.
Oh, yes.
My favourite thing is Epic letting go 900 people because the guy in charge is an absolute moron who made a big mistake, which is all these people are paying for now. I'm sure he could have easily paid these people out of his pocket, but nah. We took out that last week.
We did, and it was heartbreaking. They did get a severance package, which it's still not great, and it's still right before the freaking holidays. I'm just like,
yeah, but let's be honest, the severance package is never quite as decent as it should be.
Because it's never your full salary. It's not your full salary. It never is.
No, never. It's never a yearly salary. It's always a percentage of it.
Oh, that makes me so just...
Too many factors involved as to what that severance package is as well.
Yeah, and it depends on the company and also where they're located, blah, blah, blah. But my point being, on one hand, I kind of get it. Unreal Engine should make money. They should license it, yes. But this is like, I think they literally are. Okay, if you've read, I hate to keep referencing Redacted for Privilege, but it.
Hey!
But mark your bingo card.
Shameless self-promotion classic.
But we did have access to the unredacted they were redacted, but the unreleased emails. We got our hands on them. Tim Sweeney's not very bright.
No, he is not.
If you read through his emails, he is not a bright man. He's just not. He just failed upwards. I'm sorry, but he did. Like most of these CEOs.
Unfortunately, we'll say that the vast majority of CEOs all fail upwards to some degree.
Yep.
It's like completely tank a company and then become a CEO of next company.
Yep. People just hire them. They walk away from Yahoo with $6 billion in severance pay because they tanked the company, and then a coffee company hires them, and it's like, what?
Yeah.
But
yeah, absolutely stupid.
So on one hand, I do get okay, I can get they need to generate profit. Okay, that's fine, but Adobe is not who you should be looking at. I am so tired of subscription-based things. They are draining people dry, because what they're doing is what. People in the early days of Apple apps, iPhone apps and stuff, which is people would sign up for stuff and then forget they signed up for stuff, and so they would have that little 99p or £1.50 coming out of their monthly,
recurring
just not notice it. But now that 150p or whatever is now $14.99 or $39.99 or whatever, and so they're banking on that, and that just is shady. It is so shady.
Or 20 quid a month for Adobe Audition.
I pay.
Yeah, guys, I pay £20 a month to edit this podcast for you.
Yeah.
You like it?
Yeah, and we make no money. But
yep. We made 50 quid for the whole time that we've been streaming.
That's true. But that's because we don't do the forced ads and stuff, because we're not.
We don't do forced ads. Don't ask people to subscribe and all that. If you choose to, good.
Although we are, I think we're only 4 people away from 100.
I think so. It doesn't matter anyway.
Yeah, it doesn't matter, but it would be fun. But it doesn't matter.
Yes.
So bottom line for me is, I get it. On one hand, yeah, I get it. But then on the other hand, stop it. Just stop. Let people's paychecks recover. It's bad out there in TV land. So.
In movie land.
And movie land. And Never
And game land.
And game land.
Speaking of how bad things are getting.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Telltale Games reportedly laid off a number of employees last month. For God's sake.
Okay.
So it says reportedly. Update. Telltale have now confirmed the reports.
Finish this story out, because I sure as heck want to talk about this.
Oh no. It will get worse much later.
Oh.
Maybe want to save some of it. So I'm gonna
drink a little bit more.
You know what? I'm gonna give you a twofer story here. So let's read through this story from the VGC, and then I'll cover the next one. I was gonna group those 2 stories together.
Oh,
well,
goodness.
There is a story about something that I'll cover later. I was gonna group those 2 stories together, but I will group these 2 because it makes a lot more sense. Anyway, Telltale Games reportedly laid off a number of employees last month. The claim was made by cinematic artist Jonas Huang. who posts on Twitter as J. Jonah Jameson. Brilliant.
Nice.
Anyway, so there is an update on the story. I have to read the update box. Oh my god, really? Anyway, like I said, genuine. I don't read these beforehand. I just see what's good to cover.
Yes.
Telltale Games has now confirmed that the report is accurate. In a statement to Jeff Kiley,
your favorite person,
the studio said, due to current market conditions, we regrettably had to let some of our Telltale team go recently. We did not take this action lightly, of course you didn't, and our commitment to storytelling and finding new ways to do so remains the same. We are grateful for everyone for their dedication along this journey, and we are working to support everyone impacted. All projects currently in development are still in production, and we have no further updates at this time. Anyway, so
we're
Huang,
so sorry.
I think that's what Sencho is referencing in the
said,
chat.
yeah.
Okay. So Huang worked at the previous incarnation of Telltale Games. Just remember, this is Telltale Games 2.0.
Yes, that's what I want to talk about.
Yep. And was a cinematic artist on such titles as Walking Dead, Michonne, Minecraft Story Mode, Batman Telltale series, and Marvel's Guardian of the Galaxy. That sucked, by the way. Telltale closed down in 2018, letting go almost all of its staff one day without warning. When Telltale Games Brad returned in 2019 under new ownership, Huang was hired again, seemingly to work on The Wolf Among Us 2. Yes, that will be what they were talking about in terms of projects.
Yeah.
So, quote, this is a sore subject, but I feel it necessary to add to the gaming layoff news. Telltale laid off most of us in early September. Early September? Jesus! Why has nobody covered this until now?
I'll tell you why when we get to start talking about it.
What? Can't hear. Can't.
Oh. I said I'll tell you why when we get to talk about it.
Okay, good. Because, yeah, you might want to sit close to your microphone again.
I was taking a little nap back there.
Oh, I know. He then stated he couldn't comment on the status of The Wolf Among Us 2 because he's under an NDA, or a non-disclosure agreement to anyone who doesn't know what that is. So, he added, I signed an agreement not to cause any harm to Telltale's business as part of my severance.
I want to talk about that.
We're getting to it. Let me just finish. So, but I am legally allowed to speak on behalf of being laid off, and this statement of fact is sincerely not an attempt to cause harm or ruination to the company. This is a departure from what I usually post, which is just pixel art /stuff about my game. But this is extremely important to me as someone that genuinely cares about the people who work in games. I hate seeing abuse and exploitation continue. So, Huang added that he rejoined Telltale because he was a fan of the original Wolf Among Us and wanted to work on the sequel. So, quote, our team was very small and I was genuinely excited about the game, he said. Telltale has yet to publicise any of what has happened. So, Huang concluded by noting that Telltale recently acquired UK studio Flavorworks, adding, again, I'm not saying this in an attempt to hurt the business, I'm just saying facts of how it felt to be laid off. It was a real bummer. I guess it was a silent precursor to the past 2 weeks. When Huang told Telltale laid most of its staff off, it's not clear whether he means most Telltale employees in general, or most of the team working on The Wolf Among Us 2 specifically. So anyway, let's not go into it. Because there is something on there. Actually, let me just finish this off.
Okay.
Mostly. So earlier this week it was reported, because this is now going through quite a lot of things that have been going on elsewhere. So earlier this week it was reported that Team 17 is planning significant job losses as part of the company restructure. Last week it was announced that Epic Games would be laying off 16% of its staff, which was around 830 employees. Earlier this year, Microsoft confirmed plans to lay off approximately 10,000 employees, including some at Xbox and Bethesda. CD Projekt Red also announced plans in July to lay off around 10% of its staff. And layoffs have recently been occurring at a number of other companies, including Unity, Riot Games, Blizzard, Crystal Dynamics, BioWare, the Callisto Protocol Studio, Striking Distance.
Merry Christmas to one and all. That's so heartbreaking. Can I talk about it now?
Let me just say my heart goes out to
Yeah.
anyone who has unfortunately lost their jobs because
Ugh.
a CEO is a complete douchehead or douchebag or whatever you want to call them.
Yeah. All
Complete
the
asshat.
parts of douches or whatever. But okay, I'm gonna walk it back. We're gonna walk it back to Telltale Games. I'm gonna say something that's probably gonna offend a lot of people, and I'm sorry, but it's just an opinion. It doesn't matter. Opinions are like noses, and everybody smells or something. But Telltale Games should never have been revived.
No, he shouldn't have.
I said it back then. I made a very bold statement on Twitter, which was not received well, but I don't care. For me, Telltale Games were never really games anyway. They're visual novels. Yep, you can argue with me all day long, but those are visual novels. There's nothing wrong with that. You know.
I have to agree with you. They are very much westernized versions of visual novels.
Yeah. And there's nothing wrong with that. It doesn't, make it a lesser product or anything. People bought it or whatever. But the reason it got zombified, that's funny.
I see where you're going with this.
Was purely because nostalgia. People had good feelings associated with the old Telltale games, and so there was a big public outcry. Somebody bought them up. I forgot who, because it's been since 2018. But they bought them up, and then they were gonna I think they were gonna crowdfund the next game, which I think it was a Walking Dead game, and then The Wolf Among Us was like their actual release they were gonna do.
Yeah.
Part 2. I'm saying all of this to just say, honestly, it shouldn't have been revived. It shouldn't have been. They should have let it just die. It was sad. It was a lot of people lost their jobs, and it was very sad. But Telltale Games faded for a reason. Oh, dear. They're still going off in chat.
Yeah.
But, so yeah, I'm sorry, I was reading chat. There's a little dead air there, but my point being, I stand by this. They shouldn't have been revived. There was no reason to do it, and now we're paying the price. But it seems like right before lockdown, companies were just throwing money, and yes, this includes Microsoft, this includes Sony, this includes all the big players, Embracer Group, Tencent. They were just throwing money at whatever they could get their hands on. And then lockdown
It's almost
happened.
like now they've realised that throwing money around was a bad idea a couple of fiscal years later when they've seen profits go down.
Exactly. They're reaping what they sowed, but people told them. I don't know anything from anything. I'm a CEO of one little company. And I remember saying, this is a bad idea, guys. This is a bad idea, guys. But who's going to listen to me? I'm a chick, first of all. I'm under 50, and I have one employee in my company. One. But if
somewhere.
Yeah, but if I could see the writing on the wall back then, I know they had to have people telling them that. And yes, chat referenced Elon Musk earlier. Yes, exactly that. There's not anybody telling these people, whoa, let's slow down here, buddy. This is a bad idea. Bad idea. Nobody's telling them that. And they're just, now we're reaping all that. No. That's what's crazy. These CEOs, they're not reaping what they're sowing. It's these poor workers, the developers, and the artists and everything. They're having to pay this price. And my heart just breaks for them. It's very sad.
That includes your favourite friend, Mr. Phil Spencer, unfortunately.
It does, unfortunately. He's done a few things the last few months I'm not pleased about. I still love him.
I told you shouldn't trust him.
You
shouldn't trust people in higher ups like that. The only one you could ever trust was Satoru Iwata. The only one you
Yes.
could.
I loved him. He's so amazing.
Exactly. I know it comes back every week, every time this happens, but he was literally the only one that was very trustworthy.
If I ever get more than one employee, I'm gonna just be him.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'll be honest on this one. I always worried that announcing The Wolf Among Us 2 too early was going to be a bad move.
Yeah. They never got their footing after they got bought out.
No, they didn't.
It
They
was a
never
whole
did.
new studio. It was just in name only. It was Telltale Games in name
Yeah,
only.
yeah, it was just in spirit, and that was
Yeah.
it. And it was like that's where it like they had some good games. I can't say that I was a huge Telltale fan.
Yeah.
Tales from Borderlands was great. I know you didn't like it, but I did. Um, I honestly think the Batman game was a bit overrated, to be honest. Like people
I
liked it, but I just didn't think it was a great story.
I'll tell you the things that I like. I did like the Martian. I've never seen Walking Dead, but I watched Kevin do a full playthrough of Martian Walking
Mm-hmm.
Dead.
You mean of
Yay.
Michonne?
Whatever. Yay, call me Kevin. But I'll tell you what I really did like. I honestly liked their Back to the Future one.
I quite like Back to the Future, and
I
I never
enjoyed
wanted
that.
to play it.
Yeah, but it continued the story quite well. I liked that.
Hmm.
But I don't know. I just didn't gel with everything. It's visual novels, guys. I need a little bit more of an actual game. This is why I didn't like Crystal Dynamics, Lara Croft stuff, because it was
Yeah.
just quick time events. That just doesn't do it for
Okay.
me personally.
I I quite like a visual novel. They're
See,
okay.
yeah, yeah,
I've
like
played
a
a
lot of
few,
people do.
but
Hmm.
yeah.
Yeah,
But I just never felt like the westernized take on them was that great, to be honest. And the Telltale games never really massively appealed to me. Like I played through some of them, I
uh huh.
enjoyed some of them,
It's
but
because
it was like so. Guardians of the Galaxy was the one that I was the most excited about, and the
mhm.
Batman one. And I played the first part of the Batman one. I wasn't overly impressed.
Well, for me, again, this is just me, and maybe this everyone doesn't share this same opinion, but
Hmm.
you can pick all these different options, but it's gonna end the way it's gonna end. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it, it doesn't matter what option you choose ultimately, and
Mm.
that just doesn't do it for me. For me, um, which I will say, I did play this Japanese visual novel. I couldn't tell you the name of it because it was in Japanese. And it just blew my mind, and I've never forgotten it, and that was like 10 years ago.
Oh, okay.
So there is potential there,
Yeah, there is
for,
for
yeah,
sure.
but,
But anyway, I think we've had enough of this story. So I'm going to
yeah,
move on to let us crap on Naughty Dog again.
as we always
We're
do.
gonna we're gonna have some. I say we're gonna have some fun with this. This first story we're not going.
Oh dear.
So this comes from Game Informer because, funnily enough, VGC never covered this, which I worry about why they
Whoa.
never covered this.
Okay. Has it been
Hmm.
verified? Oh.
Mm, there are
Oh.
quite a few different outlets that are
Mm-hmm.
now covering it as well, but weirdly enough, I couldn't find a VGC link for this.
Yeah,
So
that is
strange.
strange. Okay.
Anyway, so let me just read the headline, and you'll understand why I'm covering this part next
Mm-hmm.
after what we were just talking about. Because Naughty Dog reportedly lays off at least 25, with The Last of Us multiplayer game currently on ice.
Okay. We said that wasn't coming out. Anyway, I'm sorry. I just had to say.
Oh, yep, we stand vindicated pretty much on
Yep.
this one. So, anyway, Kotaku is reporting that Naughty Dog, the PlayStation first party studio behind The Last of Us and Uncharted, has laid off at least 25 developers, cutting their contracts short. The layoffs reportedly began last week, according to two of Kotaku's sources, and various departments from art to production were hit. The majority of those laid off were in Naughty Dog's quality assurance testing department, which is
Oh
exactly
my
why I said, let's
goodness.
go back to this.
That's the one department you don't want to axe. But go ahead, Naughty Dog.
No. The 25 contract developers laid off were part of a downsizing at the studio, but Kotaku reports that full-time staff do not appear to be affected. The publication source says severance is not being offered to those laid off, and those affected, as well as those still working in Naughty Dog, are being pressured to keep the news quiet. Oh boy!
Mm-hmm.
I will go into that in a bit.
Mm-hmm.
I have some. Anyway, Kotaku says that so this is one very few time that I'll trust Kotaku on this one.
Yes.
Kotaku says that the contracts of those affected won't be officially cut until the end of October, and those hit are expected to work through the month. Now, I can tell you as someone who's been given severance, working through the month is never a great move.
Nope, that's dumb.
Let me just say, and I'm not saying this is a good thing, but honestly, if you think that the best thing to do is to cut someone's contract and say, yeah, you still have to work a month, don't expect good work out of them ever. Nope.
Exactly.
In fact, I can almost guarantee that the vast majority of those have literally taken a brick to that code at some point.
Oh, I am sure. And I don't blame them one bit.
So, anyway, Game Informer reach out to PlayStation for comment or statement. I wonder why they're not saying anything. Anyway, within Kotaku's report, the publication says that one of its sources says Naughty Dog's in-development Last of Us multiplayer game is not completely cancelled, but is basically on ice at this point. This follows news from earlier in the year where Naughty Dog said that the game needed more time and that our team will continue to work on the project as well as other games in development, including a brand new single-player experience. So, a few weeks after the statement from the studio, Bloomberg reported that the team working on the game was scaled back after the recent evaluation. So, the publication wrote that Sony asked Bungie, which it now owns after a $3.6 billion acquisition in January of last year, to assess the Last of Us multiplayer game's development. Bungie reportedly questioned its long-term viability as a live service.
Yeah. That was actually reported a couple months ago. That's not new.
Oh, I know. It's just obviously the fact that they're just clarifying the point here. So, anyway.
Oh, dear.
Now, let me call to attention one particular thing that has happened over the last couple of years when it comes to Naughty Dog. May I ask you a quick question about who recently just became the head of Naughty Dog?
Isn't it Phil Druckmann?
Neil Druckmann.
I said Phil.
Neil Druckmann. Yeah. Or as the internet is now figuratively calling him, Mr. Cuckman.
Yup. Actually, he's been called that for a while.
Oh, I know.
The internet,
I know.
I
just like saying it.
Yeah, but we must absolve ourselves from all responsibility. The internet says it, not us, ever.
That's not true. Anyway, I must withhold my annoyance about said person.
Look, there's
and
plenty
state that I'm not going to withhold said annoyance of said person because he is now at the head of he is now the head of the snake, and he has eaten his own tail.
Yep. Well.
And he is an absolute twit for doing so.
We have talked extensively.
Sacked QA?
Yep. That's not the department you want to sack, ever. Especially with the recent run of games like we talked about on this episode. But we've talked about Neil Druckmann and Naughty Dog extensively on this podcast. They are just not our favorite. I can't imagine why. But to sack your QA, QC team,
Poor move.
I can't follow the logic.
No. And it's not even the fact that they're full-time employees. They were goddamn contractors.
They're contractors.
So they're expecting goddamn contractors to stay out a month.
And the crazy thing is that I think the way I understand contract work is you have to pay the contract.
Yeah, no matter what. So what's the point of them even going to work at this point? Because they're still going to be guaranteed money. They might as well just stay at home.
So here's the thing. Here's my logic. Pete, correct me if I'm wrong. So they're contracted to work a certain amount of hours, and they get paid for that.
Yeah.
In order to get them out of that contract, they have to still pay that, is my understanding.
Yes, I believe so.
So they're not axing the workers because of money. They're axing the workers because they're axing the project, and they don't have any need for the workers.
Exactly. Otherwise, if they had another project, they would probably just move those onto another project, which
Exactly.
seems a bit weird considering they've apparently been talking about a new single player experience that they are, quote, working on, which.
Yup.
Well, surely then. How
Yeah.
does that sound if you haven't got another project in development?
Yeah, so
For a first-party Sony developer to not have a project in planning, or even in pre or early production, it's almost like, and I'm just going to think about this one for a second. It's almost like Neil Druckmann's time is split a bit too heavily between game development and pushing a new TV series.
Yeah.
And he's bitten off more than he can chew.
Not Neil Druckmann, never.
And also the fact that Evan Peters was heavily involved in the first game, and probably should have been involved heavily in the second game, but was not.
Yep.
It's almost like the whole thing is going to crap for Naughty Dog.
Like, Uncharted did.
Well, this was brought to my attention earlier on in a podcast that I was listening to, that what has been the last let's call it 3 years of Naughty Dog's cycle. Let's say, what have they released in the last 3 years?
They've re-released. So
Last of Us Part 2.
Yep, and then re-released.
Remade. I'm doing it in air quotes for those who can't see. Remade Last of Us Part 1 and gave it the stupid moniker of Part 1.
Yes.
TV series.
Yep, that's it.
Which only a few people from that were involved, which was Neil Druckmann. And Ashley Johnson and Troy Baker.
Yeah.
Now, Ashley Johnson and Troy Baker aren't even employed by Naughty Dog.
No.
And they had cameo parts. None of the writers, apart from Druckmann, were involved. None of the producers, apart from Druckmann, were involved. Because it was written by Craig Mazin, who did Chernobyl. It was directed by him, and it was produced by others. So what are Naughty Dog working on? Now I can answer that question for you now.
Okay.
Because this leads to our next story.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered has been listed on Naughty Dog
me?
developers LinkedIn.
You have
Which
to
leads
be
to the
joking.
next point. Their next game is a frickin' remaster of a 3-year-old game.
You have to be joking.
Shall we read the story and find out more?
Yeah, I'm trying to make
This is the reaction I was hoping for. I'm so glad I did this.
I was trying to make a joke out of Joel's name and joking. You have to be Joel King.
The Joel King.
Yes.
Let me just say that
this is insane.
Let me just say that this decision is not a Joel in one.
That's so bad, Pete. That's so bad. Oh my gosh.
I don't care. I can go for it. I couldn't care less. I want to make all the jokes in the world.
Oh my gosh.
You sack 25 staff and then you essentially soft announce that your next game is a remaster. Freaking out.
See, okay, wait. Quick aside. That's the thing that you notice about all these CEOs and people in charge. They're all greedy AF and egomaniacs. And that is what's running these companies into ground.
He is.
He is.
Very much so.
Rah.
Anyway, The Last of Us 2 Remastered has been spotted on the LinkedIn profile of a Naughty Dog developer. And by Naughty Dog developer, I mean actual current developer.
Unbelievable.
That man's getting fired.
Oh, yeah.
So the developer in question is lead outsource artist Mike Pajarillo. So apologies if I pronounced your name incorrectly. Who has been at the studio since January 2021.
Holy crap.
Oh boy.
He was probably so excited that he got a job during lockdown.
Yeah. Anyway, so, quote, responsible for. So, this is what was spotted, by the way, as read on the LinkedIn profile.
Whew.
So, responsible for overseeing the production of all outsourced environment art, assets, weapons, and interactive prompts for two iconic titles, The Last of Us Part 1 and The Last of Us 2 Remastered. Read his LinkedIn profile. While Sony hasn't officially announced Last of Us Part 2 Remaster, one is anticipated. In July, Last of Us Part 2 composer, which we mentioned on the show previously, Gustavo Santarella. Good God, I can't pronounce names. Seemingly let slip that an enhanced version, in quotes, of the game was in development.
No.
So we haven't heard the. So this is not the last we're going to hear of this.
The Last
The
of
last.
Us.
Hey.
We haven't heard the last of this.
Even better. So the composer who also composed the original game and the franchise's TV adaptation for HBO mentioned that a new version of Part 2 was in the works through an interview with Blender. During the conversation, one of the interviewers expressed its delight at playing the game and finding out that the composer had a cameo in it. Sorry, I'm not trying to pronounce his name again, so... in the section in question, the Argentinian musician can be found playing a song with a Ron Rocco.
Sure.
Anyway, according to Spanish language website Vandal, the composer then revealed that a new version of the game is in works, in which players would be able to make him play certain tracks, before adding that he wasn't allowed to reveal any more information.
Oh.
Now, this is a bit suspicious.
Yes.
Now, he never got sanctioned over this, so it's almost like it's cementing our point that leaks are not leaks, and they are clearly designed and planned by studios and heads
we are
to get discussion going on. Because funnily enough, this went to the top of trending on Twitter as a result of it.
Yeah. I'm very suspicious of quote-unquote leaks, as we've established on here many times.
Me too.
Yeah.
So, now that you've heard the news, what do you reckon?
I am flabbergasted. Why the F? Why the F? I'm sorry, but why are they doing this? They don't need a remaster. I mean, it's a 3-year-old game. It's on the same console that it was already on.
It's not. It was a PS4 game.
Oh, really?
No, it's a PS4 game. It was released in 2020, and so in June of 2020 it came out, and in November 2020 is when the PS5 came out.
All right, so maybe they could do a little upgradey one for PS5. Fine, okay.
Now, the problem is...
Okay.
See the PS5 back here?
Yes.
Right? You see there has such a thing called a disc version of said console. And it also has the ability to play backwards compatible PS4 games on a disc. Meaning that a remaster at an extra price point is freaking pointless.
Well, this is the thing. I mean, if you're like into the best of the best of the best, okay, fine. But here's my thing. Why is that your only project in the works? It shouldn't be. That should be like a supplemental project. Why aren't they working on anything else?
Maybe it's mismanagement at the head of the studio. Possibly.
Maybe just
possibly.
Just a little.
Or it's possible that they are being stretched thin elsewhere. Curious. I do wonder what's going on here. And in case you haven't realised, I'm being bloody sarcastic, and it is Neil Druckmann being an idiot.
Didn't pick up on that at all, Pete.
The man does not know how to run a company, and yet he's been made the head of a company because the original company director or head retired. I've
never understood this, because after he ran off, what's her face?
You mean Amy Hennig?
Yeah.
Who worked on the original Uncharted games.
Yes, who is 5,000 times more talented than he is. and
Yes.
better at games, just better at games. But he ran her off. That right there was a big red flag that things were going to be like going downhill. And they did. The next game that came out, the next Uncharted that came out was awful.
According to some, it was awful. Some people
I
really
know.
like it.
But some people really like Last of Us 2, Part 2.
They are weirdos, I'm afraid to say.
Really
They are perfectly entitled to their opinion. I would say that they were smoking some very, very strong crack.
Or they lack empathy and human emotion. And are walking along the lines of sociopaths.
That is very true. Either that or they're a very, very big fan of irons.
Yes, and golf in general. Bye, Mike. Mike's gonna bounce. Thank you so
Cheers,
much, Mike, for being here. We appreciate you very, very,
We're all
very
reading
much.
the comments at the end, by the way.
I know, but I just want to say that before you...
I know, thank you. I know, I was just saying, cheers.
Yeah.
Catch up later on Spotify.
Yeah. Please listen to us on Spotify because this is bad. It's bad, guys. Anyway.
Man, I'm really loving that bromance.
Oh, I know. It's so adorable. But yeah, so my thing is simply that what the F are they thinking? Because it's still
They're
Dublin.
not.
They're not. Yeah, exactly. Ugh, that's so disappointing to hear.
I know. Well, we've come to the end of our news stories. With except to one. Now, I've left this till last because I thought we might need a laugh.
Okay.
So this might be, if I can find the stories capable whenever we do some news stories. This might be a new thing where let's laugh at games journalism.
Oh, okay. I'm for that. I'm absolutely for that.
Because this story happened to swing by on Twitter. Somehow, I say somehow, I know how, because previous guest Sophia Narwitz made a comment about it.
Oh, right.
So it brought it to my attention. Now, before you ask, I'm not using their website. I specifically archived this link so that I didn't pay this particular company money through ad revenue. It is Kotaku.
I knew
How
it
did
was
you
gonna
guess?
be because I just
How did you
knew.
guess?
I could just tell from your tone.
How did you guess? Okay, so I have to ask you, what do you know about Detective Pikachu?
I know it's really cute and adorable, and I love it, but I don't know much else outside of that.
Sencho's just put cow taco.
Ah.
Good stuff.
Man, I'm hungry now. But anyway.
I know. Alright, so, okay. So, bearing in mind, we all know that certain political persuasions of certain people don't tend to like a particular authority, let's say. So, in our first of possibly an ongoing segment of what I descriptively called on my document is never go full artard.
Oh no. Oh no.
Is Detective Pikachu a cop? Kotaku investigates.
Okay, can I just say, I think Kotaku is a psyop set up by right-wing conservatives to make us hate the far, far, far crazy left, not my left.
And yes, by the way, I was making reference to Tropic Thunder and Robert Downey Jr.'s thing of
yes, absolutely, yeah.
Why I was doing
yes, I think
way.
There's no doubt about that.
So
Kotaku's a psyop. It has to be a psyop.
I'm not surprised.
No one can think like that.
You can now understand why I specifically archived this link, because I had a feeling that this was going to get deleted.
You've got to be kidding me.
Shall we read? Shall we find out?
Dare we?
This is a lot longer than I thought it was, by the way.
That's what she said. Holy crap, go ahead.
So you know that Detective Pikachu Returns has recently just come out, right?
Yes.
Okay, so Detective Pikachu Returns is out on October 6th on Nintendo Switch, and it brings a new mystery for a titular Pokemon investigator to solve. But it also dredges up an old mystery that has plagued the character since his debut in 2016. Is Detective Pikachu a cop? Well, the only way to solve this mystery is to look at the evidence and come to a logical conclusion. So let's put on our deer stalkers, grab our magnifying glasses, and answer the big question: does ACAB include Detective Pikachu? And by ACAB, we all know what it means, but I'm gonna
Yes.
say it for anyone who doesn't live perpetually on the internet. It says
Yeah.
all cops are bastards.
Yeah. And I have my own personal feelings of that. I will leave them out. Because this is insane. This is insane. Remember,
Let's read on.
I'm a left
So,
winger, and this is insane.
okay, before we dive into the specifics of our furry friend's alleged copitude, let's make sure we're all on the same page what it means to be a cop. On paper, the police force is a state-sanctioned entity that is meant to enforce the laws
This is
governed
not
by the
real.
authorities.
This can't be real, Pete. It can't be.
The platonic idea of law enforcement is to be protectors of the people and keepers of peace. In reality, it exists as a form of state violence and systematic oppression for those in crime.
I am cringing so hard right now. This cannot be real life. This can't be real.
I don't know if I can get through this whole thing. I don't know. But like I said, I think we needed a laugh after that heavy news.
Oh my gosh, this can't be real. This cannot be real life. Somebody wrote this. Who wrote this? Is it what's her face?
Kenneth Shepard.
Okay, no, I don't know that one.
No, I don't know either.
Oh my gosh, this can't be real.
Right. So yeah, state violence, systematic oppression for those who can't afford to buy their way around the system, and has historically been weaponized against marginalized communities.
This is the most American thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, I'll remember the last time that I saw a cop killing a person over here. Oh wait, it was a long time ago.
Gosh, this is so.
Oh wait, it wasn't actually that long ago. To be fair, Christ.
Like 2005 or something.
No, unfortunately, the person who killed Sarah Everard was a police officer.
I forgot about that. You're right, Pete.
So did I until
totally
I just
slipped
god,
my
yeah.
mind. Yep.
What makes a cop different from your average vigilante? In short, the state-sanctioned authority to use violence against average citizens.
What's the difference?
And willingly put one's thumbs under belt hoops. What does even that mean?
What is the difference between Batman and Jim Gordon? Here's the article everyone wanted. This is awful, Pete. This can't be real. That sentence you just said doesn't make sense. There's no words there. That is insanity.
It's just word salad, like you said earlier.
It is insanity in print. This is not happening. Oh my gosh. Continue on. I can't believe I'm saying
trying. That. I'm really trying here. I'm
this
sorry.
This is literally the worst.
I know it is, but now you can sort of understand why I want to make this a recurring thing, because this is good fun at least.
Oh my gosh. Just be Kotaku every week. That's who it'll be. It'll just be Kotaku every week with insanity.
That or Polygon. Exactly. No, or VG 24/7.
I am featured in one of Polygon's crazier articles, but you know.
You have to tell me about that later.
It's just a Red Dead Redemption. It wasn't any kind of like political article, but.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Is it the can you pet the dog?
No, but that's how they found me. Oof. Anyway.
Okay, right. As his name suggests, Detective Pikachu is first and foremost a detective. Great logic.
Oh my gosh, I hate this. This is awful. This is not happening.
On its own, the detective profession isn't inherently tied to law enforcement.
Oh my god.
There are private investigators who solve mysteries, but lack the same state authority to do anything with the results.
Where are you? We got a lot to do now. Oh my gosh.
I would have gone away with it too if it wasn't for these pesky Kotaku.
Gosh.
If you saw the mystery / comedy, I mean, they should have put that in air quotes, comedy movie Glass Onion. Jesus. That was not even funny.
It's a dark comedy, but only to...
Sorry, to say that Rian Johnson has humor is just complete crap.
But it's like super like... It's
I'm so,
very what's the word? Esoteric comedy.
I
That's
was
the
gonna
word I'm
say
looking
this.
for. It's
This
not.
is the same Ryan Johnson who
Yeah.
thought the idea of comedy in Star Wars: The Last Jedi was throwing General Hux on the floor and dragging him around because Snoke wanted it to happen.
Yes.
That's so hilarious.
It's yeah. Oh
Anyway,
my
last year,
gosh.
it does a decent job of illustrating this concept. Does it?
Oh no, it
Does it?
doesn't at all. Oh my
But it kind of does. I probably would have used, maybe some more famous examples like, I don't know, maybe Poirot, possibly.
yes. But they're way too American to even think of freaking
Well, even though Murder on
Agatha
the Orient
Christie.
Express
Yeah.
and Death on the Nile have been major Hollywood movies for the last couple of years
What is
now,
the
and they've got
lady?
a new one coming this year.
Not Miss Marple, but the other one, the Agatha Christie.
I don't remember.
Yeah, but that lady, that's an American TV show that could reference that. Angela Lansbury, Jessica,
Oh,
whatever.
okay. Anyway, um, I mean, if you wanted to talk about the Marvel universe, you could have mentioned Jessica Jones.
Yep, there's another one. Yep, yep. See,
Yeah. Anyway, in that film, see,
Magnum PI.
we've
That's
done,
an '80s show.
we've done more work on this than they
Yeah.
clearly have done.
Yep. Miami
In
Vice. I
it
think they're detectives.
Anyway, in that film, Detective Benoit Blanc. That is a terrible name, by the way.
It is, but it's intentional. It
Yeah,
is
I know.
a lot of those
Talks
things are
about how
intentional.
yeah, so he talks about how he can solve a mystery, but without the tangible evidence and testimony to back it up to the police. He doesn't have any pull to enact the same systems and put a murderer behind bars. Now, to be clear, a detective can certainly have direct ties to law enforcement and often does. Precincts will often have in house investigators who double as cops. No, they don't. They don't. They really don't. That's such a Hollywood trope. And I'm starting to really wonder whether or not these people live in the real world.
They don't. They don't. As evidenced
Yeah,
by this article alone, they do
yeah.
not.
Anyway, but being a detective and being a cop are not necessarily mutually inclusive. That's why that's often debatable whether Detective Pikachu falls into the AC that AB.
I hate this, Pete. I hate this article. I hate this premise. This is a time waster for them. He got paid for this.
And like I said, further again, I haven't read this story, which is why my
Oh my
reactions are pretty genuine.
gosh.
Because this is absolutely embarrassing to read.
Oh my gosh.
I'm sorry, but I've had kids round this afternoon. I'm pretty sure they could write a better article than this.
Well, Sincho thinks this should be a new segment every week. I don't know if I
I
can make it. Oh my gosh. This is the worst.
Anyway, but when we look at the specifics of the little guy's alliances, we can determine where he sits on this
I
fine
hate
line.
this.
So,
This is
who
so
is Detective
stupid.
Pikachu really?
This is so stupid. I hate everything about it.
So, apparently, according to this, he's just a guy. No, he's just a Pokemon.
Just a little guy. He's just a little guy in a detective hat.
He wears a silly little hat and a cloak, and he solves mysteries with a bolt of brilliance. He
He's
does this in Rhyme City,
adorable.
where Pokemon and humans live side by side as equals, rather than the typical trainer party dynamic we see in
I
most
hate
games.
this.
Are they
I
gonna go
hate
on
this.
to?
They
Are
are.
they gonna? Are
I,
they honestly gonna try and
that is.
conflate Pokemon as
Yes.
slaves? Are
They
they
have
really?
mentioned that.
Oh
They
my!
have mentioned that. That has been mentioned before, Pete. Not a joke. I hate this. I hate what is this what getting old is? I hate this.
So he he works with Harry Goodman, a detective of ambiguous type,
Oh,
in the city, and the two of them get into a car accident which leaves Pikachu with amnesia and Harry nowhere to be found.
oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
He's not. Now, if you remember watching the movie, he's not exactly an ambiguous type. He actually does
No.
work. Harry does work for the police,
Yes, he does.
and so does Pikachu.
Oh my gosh, I hate this so much.
Anyway, when Pikachu comes to, He is suddenly able to talk and understand Tim Goodman, Harry's son, whose journey to the city to either search for his father or say goodbye, depending on if you're talking about the game or live action movie. So yeah, they are conflating the two together to some degree. Either way, Detective Pikachu and Tim venture off on an investigative adventure to find Harry, and how they do it informs whether or not we can say if our hero is a cop.
This is so stupid. I hate this.
And funnily enough, they put a link in here. It says, "Read more. Is Detective Pikachu a good movie?"
I hate this so much. Was this
I
just
don't
like
even. No.
we had to fulfill a certain amount of articles this month? Let's just come up with this BS nonsense. Cincho's reading comments, by the way. Thank goodness. Yes. Cincho says my fave comment is from Fast Shoes. This is the quality content I fully read on here and would love to see more of. That's how I read it.
Is that irony?
I read it as ironic.
I really hope it is.
It has to be. It has to be ironic because this is insane.
This is so dumb. This is so dumb.
This can't be.
But also,
real.
thanks Sophia to bring this to my attention.
Like, are they like just farming? Are they rage farming?
Yes.
Is that what this
yes,
is?
Yes, they are, and now you can understand why I was archiving the crap out of it.
Yeah, no, don't give them the
And
views.
it's also why from the Rapid Reviews radio account I did post on Sophia's tweet with the archive link and said so you don't give them any money for ad revenue.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Anyway.
Hate this is rage farming. I hate
So
it.
is Detective Pikachu a cop in the video games?
Oh my
Question.
gosh.
Unequivocally no. As so they say. In the 3DS game, Detective Pikachu and his partner Harry Goodman are not at all tied to Rhyme City's police department. They operate out of a private practice called Baker Detective Agency and don't interfere with any law enforcement superiors of the game's runtime. They answer to their boss Mike Baker and work entirely outside the Rhyme City Police Department's jurisdiction. Is Detective Pikachu a cop in the live-action movie? This is where things get murkier.
Do they? Do they really?
Sorry, you said what?
Do they really get murkier?
Let's read on and find.
Oh my gosh.
The Detective Pikachu live-action movie follows similar character beats to the 3DS source material, but a lot of the finer details are tweaked or outright changed. Tim starts his Rhyme City investigation at the police department where Lieutenant Hyde Yoshida says Harry was a legend to the Force.
Legend Harry. Ha! I'm
Yep.
amazing.
On its own, this doesn't technically confirm Harry as a cop. I think it kind of does, actually.
I hate this.
As law enforcement would naturally be aware of a prolific detective's work. We know at this point that Harry was so dedicated to detective work that he neglected his son, so sure. The more damning moments come when Tim goes to Harry's house, and there are awards and accolades from Rhyme City's police department hanging on the walls. They've even included a still shot of it just to make sure you know.
This can't be real. This can't be real. This isn't real. I don't believe this.
I can send the archive link to you. It is actually real. I'm not even joking.
Just what the F?
So even though Harry was part of a private practice in the game, it seems Ryan Reynolds was indeed oiking up a storm in Rhyme City before he went missing. But does that make Detective Pikachu himself a cop? Well, there's a lot to unpack in the lore of Rhyme City as a place. Unlike other regions in the Pokemon world, Pokemon are citizens with jobs. Ludicolo is a barista, Machamp is a crossing guard, and Pikachu is a detective.
Thanks.
We don't know if Pokemon are paid salaries in the... Oh my god.
I hate this. I hate
What
this.
part of freaking Pokemon need currency?
I hate this so much.
Really? Paid salaries in this setup, they are at least...
Oh my
they are
gosh.
very least doing capital L labour.
No. No, 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 no.
Oh my
No,
god.
no,
This...
no, 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 no.
I'm just gonna say this, and I've got to put this on record. This would be the sort of thing that you would write as a socialist, except with less talent.
I was gonna say, like, there is okay, wait, no, let's get sort of serious here for a second. There is scope.
Be serious.
There is scope for articles about politics in video games. There's a large scope for that. I
Yes,
would
yes, there
love to
is.
explore that. That is
There is. I don't think there's anything inherently wrong with having politics in video games. It's just when you include current day politics in the things that are set in the
I
15, 16, 1700s.
I think when you start no, I'm not going to say that. It's going to come out wrong. I think there's scope for articles discussing politics in games. Yes. But this is rage baiting, and I don't like it. I don't like inauthentic things. There's no way that this is real. There's no way someone sat around and went, "Oh, can I support Detective Pikachu even if he's a cop?" There's nobody thinking that. Maybe you're for 12. But there's no one sitting around thinking that. I'm sorry.
I don't even think a 12-year-old would even write this article. I'm literally going with 9.5.
Maybe. Or
Anyway.
My First Socialism. That's what this
Yes.
is. Oh
yes.
my gosh. This is
So anyway,
really
was Detective Pikachu employed by the Rhyme City Police Department to solve crimes? We really don't know. So we have to wonder what is the transitive property of being a cop.
Oh my gosh, I hate this.
If Detective Pikachu was helping Harry, a cop, solve Pokemon crimes, does that, by extension, make him a cop? It certainly makes him an accessory to whatever Harry was doing, which can be just as bad depending on what kind of cop act.
This has to be parody.
What kind of cop-like acts Harry carried out with his badge? No one's letting Castle off as not a cop, right?
I hate this. This has
Anyway,
to be parody.
Even with Pikachu being at Harry's side, it gets even more complex when you consider the true nature of the entity that is Detective Pikachu, the caffeine-addicted, foul-mouthed detective we follow through the film. Spoilers for the 4.5-year-old movie. Also, yeah, I do agree, Nana. How is this still going? But Detective Pikachu is a magically infused product of both Harry and Pikachu. Mewtwo pulls Harry's soul into Pikachu's body to preserve him after he was gravely wounded in a car crash. So technically, Detective Pikachu is Harry, and thus, a cop. They took all that time to get to that point.
And they never even answered their own question.
So I'm not reading this statement here because I want to go on to the last set of paragraphs because, oh boy, I've just read what the sub-headline to this.
Okay.
Can being a cop be a vibe instead of a hard-coded profession?
I hate this. I hate this. I hate this. I hate everything about this. This goes back... Wait, no. Let me get on my soapbox. Ugh. That was a big old soapbox.
Oh my god.
This goes back to that episode. I don't remember what it was called. I don't remember what number it is. But it's the episode where I went off on journalism. And...
Yes.
People getting their nephews and nieces into journalism. This is what this is. Or games journalism specifically. Somebody was like, "Oh, my nephew wants to be a reporter." And someone at Kotaku said, "Okay, let's hire him." And then he went, "I'll write about video games and politics, but I'll do it really dumb." And that's what they've done. And then he's going to be like, "I wrote for Kotaku once. Please let me write for the New York Times." Or whatever. And that's what's going to happen. And I hate it. I hate everything about it.
I worked for Kotaku once, and now I can walk into Bloomberg.
You know what? You ain't wrong, because we got proof of that with what's-his-face. I forget his name.
Try it.
That word, that name. And that's exactly what he did. And then you got a podcast. I don't know how it's doing now. I don't even know if it still exists.
Now you know what I was doing there.
I'm just like...
Anyway, shall we read this last part so we can end the
There's
torture?
More? Oh my god.
This is the final bit, honestly.
In this!
But even if Detective Pikachu's relationship to Rhyme City's police department is complicated, what if Detective Pikachu is a cop just in vibes?
I hate this. I hate this.
There are a lot of things the everyday citizen can do that are cop-like. A co-worker narking to your boss about you doing something outside of protocol is cop behavior. Clapping when the plane lands is cop behavior.
I do hate when people clap when the plane lands, but I
No,
don't.
this one is the best. This is the best one.
This got me
Asking
parody.
to see the manager, cop. They've called every Karen a cop.
I speechless, my friends. My friends, my friends. My friends, my countrymen, my Romans. I'm speechless.
Oh, this section is arousing success. Let's carry on. Oh my god. So does Detective Pikachu exude this? I wouldn't say so. After all this!
I hate this.
After all this! Please tell me it does. Oh, please tell me it doesn't end with them saying, "Please buy Detective Pikachu Returns on Switch."
That's
Oh,
the only thing
please.
that would justify this article, Pete. Because I can't
Any-
justify anything anyway else. What does
Anyway, okay. No,
Oh no.
it does. Oh,
Oh,
no.
no. Oh no.
For example, no, I'm getting to it. But for example, take when he and Tim come across the illegal Pokemon battles in the film. The little guy and Harry have been here before, participating in battles, and yet they didn't report the showrunners for doing crimes. So even if he has ties to law enforcement, he is at the very least seems to be willing to let things slide. Anyway, you should play the original Detective Pikachu game.
This is not real. We've entered the Twilight Zone.
It's a simple, sometimes silly adventure game, but like the movie,
What?
it is really fascinating look at what the Pokemon universe looks like when it's not about competitive sport. And there, Pikachu is definitely not a cop. And the final sentence, buy Detective Pikachu Returns from Amazon, Best Buy, or GameStop with linked.
This can't be real. This can't. I refuse to. This has got to be a parody. Except, the bad thing is, it's Kotaku, and I know it's not. That's what's very sad about this. Pete, what the F? This is not cool, man. You're gonna do this to me every week. I'm gonna have this meltdown, existential crisis every week because what in the F, dude? That's what we call this segment.
Well, I'm gonna have such a great laugh with it.
This segment is called "What in the F, dude?" Because what in the Kotaku? Maybe we'll just call it "What in the Kotaku." What?
Someone raised a good point on the comments on Sophia's post to do with this. Is it any wonder that Nintendo stopped sending codes to Kotaku?
Well, I mean, we know the original reason why they stopped, but
Oh, we know because they told them to pirate freaking games.
Yes,
and told them
exactly.
how to do it.
Yeah.
But is it any wonder that this relationship has not changed?
Oh my god.
Kotaku sounds like the bitter ex of someone who's been seriously scorned.
Kotaku is the bitter ex of everyone. Now,
no, but their relationship with Nintendo specifically.
Yes, but for our younger listeners and watchers out there, Kotaku actually was good once. Not great. It was never great. But it was
never
good.
Fantastic.
And they were very, they were the good kind of progressive. In that they did have female writers that played video games, which at the time, we're talking 2014, 2012, 2013, 2014. That was very, very rare. This was very good for me. And then, Patricia
That's a
Hernandez,
good one. Sencho put Koptaku be watching.
Exactly. But Patricia Hernandez joined, and then Gamergate happened, and Kotaku fell from grace, and I think they got sold off. I think all of Dead Line,
they did, yeah.
It's called. I forget who owns them. They got sold off.
Deadspin, so Gizmodo,
Deadspin,
Jezebel, all of that lot, all
that
in part.
Yeah, I used to love Jezebel. I used to love all of that. I'd come home and I'd read it immediately. Back then, it made sense.
Now, this is an interesting thing I didn't notice because I don't go on Kotaku very frequently. Did you know that in the same group is The Onion?
Really?
Hmm.
See, this belongs on The Onion. I used to love The Onion so much. Oh my gosh, Pete, this is the worst. You're gonna subject me to this every week.
Well, every time we do a news episode, yes.
Oh my
If I can
gosh.
find a dumb enough story.
It's Kotaku. You're going to.
Oh, I know.
Oh my gosh.
But
Well,
that now means that I'm going to be giving traffic to Kotaku to farm dumb crap.
yeah, well, at least we can make commentary about them.
It's fine. It's transformative content.
There you go. Maybe I'll actually get to talk about politics and gaming the right way instead of this insanity. Oh, I can't believe this. I can't believe that's real. I'm just in shock.
Okay. Funnily enough, do you want to see what some of the things in the actual link state as well? Because you know that they're tags, by the way.
Okay. Oh,
Detective Pikachu. Pokemon Detective Pikachu. Switch ACAB is a cop.
I hate this. Do we have to do this? I hate this.
That's it. That was in the link. I'm not even joking. So they probably have already changed the actual art.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
I'm done.
So,
I'm so done with this.
I'm
this is
gonna
it.
ask our beautiful chat and our beautiful listeners who are gonna totally listen to this episode and give it to their friends and their family and their dog and their Pikachus. Is Detective Pikachu
And the cop friends.
And their cop. Give it to your cop friends. Sure. And then we're gonna find out, is Detective Pikachu a cop? Sure. That's a question that we all are just dying to know, and we'll reconvene next week and find out. Holy crap.
Well, I can't put it as the Q&A on this episode for Spotify. I'm going to.
For real, because okay, so that's another thing. I'm gonna hype us up for a little bit as we close out the show, because we actually are at the end now.
Yes.
But having said all that, yeah, if you could. Our numbers aren't doing... Our streaming numbers are doing wonderful. Our chat is wonderful. Our live chat is wonderful. Please do join us for that. But we're not doing so great on the Spotify.
No audio.
Yeah, I mean, YouTube's okay. It's kind of in the middle. It's not great, but it's not awful. Please watch it this week. But mostly this week is about Spotify. Because a lot of people, like I said, now, when I do these hype moments, please know that you do not owe us your loyalty. You don't owe us anything. We do this free of charge. We, do this by word of mouth, all that kind of stuff. We only want authentic, listens. And if you enjoy us, we've got some really good ratings out there, which has been great, and reviews. Thank you to everyone who has dropped a rating and a review. They have all been positive, and they mean so much to us. But it would be nice if maybe you tossed us to a friend, I don't know. Pete, do you have any outstanding episodes you can think of? Or just
I always recommend the Game of the Year episodes, because they're always good. They are good fun. They go long. Yeah. But they're informative and they're entertaining. But I would say any of the interviews that we've done with games developers, the couple of episodes that we've done with Brent where he talks accessibility in gaming, and his very passionate rants are always great. There have been some really good ones. But some of the most fun ones I have are these news episodes, because they're just a way for us to cut loose, have a bit of fun, talk about some interesting stuff. But yeah,
we do keep it pretty.
I like 180 of our episodes.
Yes, I think 180 of our episodes have been all bangers. But we do try to keep it family friendly, so you don't have to worry too much about that. I mean, occasionally we have a little slip up here and there, but and mostly
let's be honest, we do, because it is a natural show. We do what we can. I can't always get them all.
Yeah. And what was it going? I was gonna say something else. Oh yeah, we do some double entendre, but if you're particularly young, you won't get it, so it's good.
Yeah.
But Nana says the Max interviews have been great. I've enjoyed those very much.
They were very good, yeah.
Yeah, again, Max has a great community over there. Middle Aged Gamer Guy UK. Go But check him out.
Mm. Can I be
Mhm.
perfectly honest? I do have a very firm favourite one that we done, and
Sure,
this is
yes.
solely personal more than anything.
Okay, I wonder if it is
Was
the.
uh the interviewing Daniel Lindholm,
Oh, yeah.
because that was a story that I found organically,
Yeah.
made contact, never thought he would come on, and got to talk about Street Fighter music for
And
a
he
while,
was
and it was
a
great fun.
wonderful guest. And we had a
He
match.
was, and yeah, and he he spoke very openly, very
Oh,
candidly
yes.
about what had happened. Never had hate intentions. Just told it from his side, and I thought it
Plus,
was just really measured and really just a great conversation. The only thing I would say, it was done quite late at night, so I wasn't as on top form.
that's okay because, I mean, both of us kind of were, we kind of just let him shine, which was good, but he kind of gave us a background of what sound designers and composers do.
Yeah,
So yeah, I would definitely agree. I mean, we're selling ourselves here, but yeah, check out our interview episodes because they're very informative. We've had amazing guests. We've never had a bad guest. Not that
no,
you would, but we literally haven't. We have guests that run the range of fellow journalists, fellow reviewers, to developers, to, as we said, music composers. We had TJ also on
yep,
another episode with Daniel.
that was a good
That
episode
was
too.
such a good episode. We learned so much. There's
Mm,
so much that goes on behind the scenes that you just don't know. I would love in the future to get some QA testers or QC testers to see, how they are, how what they go about doing. And that's another thing I will say. If you have ideas for the show, get in contact with us. Get in
yes,
contact with
yes.
Pete via he's on the Twitter on those Twitters. Uh,
Yeah, just the Rapid Reviews Radio
yeah,
Twitter, which is at our radio pod.
yeah,
I
and
doubt anyone stays for the end credits to actually listen to that.
no, but your dulcet pipes are so soothing on that last credits.
That
So
took me about 40 tries to
yeah,
record
I know
properly. It
you
was
did.
annoying as hell.
I know how that goes. I've made those same recordings before, and it does. It takes forever. But we do have great products out there. Again, Pete and I don't get paid for this. We do this purely because it is fun as heck, and we're gonna keep doing it while it's fun. I
Yes.
get a little bit sad. I'm not gonna lie. I get a little bit sad when the numbers dip, but you know it doesn't last because then the next Sunday we do a show and we have this amazing chat that people need to come join.
They were
Um,
popping off again today, and they are
they
the
are
real MVPs of
on
this show.
point. I love it. They bring a smile to both me and Pete's face every week. You'll always, if you are, you know what, you can also lurk. I'm a lurker. I go on other streams and I lurk. And I'm not one of those
Yep.
people who do like you go on Twitch streams and you do like exclamation point lurk or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even do that. I sneaky snake. I'm a ninja. I go in, I
Yeah.
lurk. You can lurk. I don't check anything. Like, don't worry. We don't call out lurkers. That's not a thing on this.
No, only
Nope.
if you want to be known, just let us
Yeah,
know.
yeah. You message chat. We'll say, hey, how you doing? But if you
Yeah.
just want to lurk quietly, we will never even know you're here. So I think that's all the good things I can say about us. Pete, did you want to
Yes.
add anything before I close the show out?
Well, just every listener that we've ever had, any viewer that we've ever had, thank you so much, because we do this for you. Like you said, we don't get paid for it. In fact, we pay money towards it.
Yes, we do.
And I'm currently in, a net negative as a result of
Yes.
it, but I do it for fun. I do it for enjoyment. I made a good friend out of it, so
Yeah.
I'll never ever be
Lifelong.
unhappy at
Yeah.
that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We will. Now, our plan is in the future to start doing some like live shows. I'm going to start flying over there more often for cons and stuff like that. So,
Yep.
yeah, you'll see us pop up more, and we'll network. Oh, I love networking so much.
I know you do. You're
Yeah,
the better of the two of us out of it.
I love it. So it's my strength. But we're gonna wrap up the actual show, and
Yeah.
I see you said show down there. And it's been a good one, and we hope you will, come check us out. And also, here's another advantage for watching the stream, which, as I said, the stream's been doing well. But another advantage is we do a pre-show and a post-show, which you
We do.
don't get on the actual podcast.
Yes.
So come check that out. But
And that's on YouTube or Twitch, so long as it
yes,
stays on Twitch.
yeah, I think it stays on Twitch 2 or 3 weeks. I'm not sure.
Two
It's
weeks, I
longer
think
now.
it is.
Yeah, because it used to be very short. Now it's long.
Yeah.
That's what she said. And also, we're only like 4 away from 100 on Twitch, and I think we're like 8 away from 100 on YouTube followers. So yeah, come check us out, follow us. But I think that's gonna do it for us for this week. Have enjoyed this episode very much, and we hope you enjoy it as well.
Mm-hmm.
We will see you and talk to you next week. Bye.
Goodbye.
You sound like the AOL guy.
I was trying to think of I was trying to think of something funny there, but I was like, nah. That was all a bit too serious and a bit too nice at the end to make stupid jokes about Kotaku.
No, we should have made a joke. I got a little bit serious, but it's just because, and this is for our viewers, I get a little bit sad. I do. I can't lie. I do.
Okay.
Yeah. But,
Right. Thank you, Nana. I appreciate at the end of every show, every week, I always post the links.
Yeah, which is always good.
Right. I will be back in a second. I'm just going to change the settings around.
Yes, he's got to go do work. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about this new weekly Kotaku visit. Oh my gosh.
Guys. Oh, wait.
Oh.
You know, have you ever seen, I'm sure you've probably seen it a fair few times. Is there, thanks, I hate it.
Yes, yeah. Thanks, I hate it. Yeah, Call Me Kevin says that all the time. I love Call Me Kevin. I have been binging him much this week. Which is crazy because both Let's Game It Out and I Am Krusty, who are my other two that I follow, again, besides Mags, they released content this week and streamed this week. Who am I watching? Call Me Kevin and Mags. But Call Me Kevin. Of course. And I'm like, okay, you can switch now. And my brain's like, no, I want to watch Call Me Kevin.
No, not today. Not today.
Yeah, not today. I love Call Me Kevin only. I was like, oh my gosh. Okay, brain, fine.
So that's how you want to go, then go ahead.
Oh, Brent says, gonna be honest, I'm a little disappointed in the Starfield ending. Does it have multi-endings? See, I don't actually know this. I assume it does. It's very Fallout 4-y. So I assume it does. But I'm gonna play it when some more mods drop. I think.
Yes. Yeah, let me know how that experience is for you when you do get the mod system in there.
Yeah. I think that's gonna
now I need to go back to our conversation and find out what we actually mean. Oh, there we go. Thank you.
But
Christ almighty. We could have had so many episode titles out of this, by the way.
I know. It was such a crazy mishmash. My housemate, flatmate, I don't remember how they say it here. Roommate. Housemate or whatever. He's absolutely crazy about Starfield. Absolutely obsessed with it, which is crazy.
So one of my gaming group, their fiance is absolutely obsessed with it too.
That is so funny to me. Because this person's not. I mean, they like Skyrim, but they're not really like Fallout 3. They're just not my level of Bethesda love.
Yeah.
And no, absolutely love Starfield.
Okay.
Just like, okay.
That's what I thought. I was kind of hoping to be that. I was hoping to be the. Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of Fallout 4 or anything, but I really like Starfield.
Yeah, but
no.
I really do think I will when the mods pop in. That's gonna be my thing. But I would also I don't know. I said this before. I just want a game to lose myself in. Minecraft's great, but I play it on the iPad and it doesn't have as much functionality as, let's say, the PC version does. I just want a game to lose myself in. That's what I need. And it's sad because there's nothing out there right now. But Brett
Sorry,
says,
2 seconds.
That's
Can you read? I'm just going through this section of the edit so that I need to cut out. So
oh yeah.
Can you cover the comments for a bit?
I sure will.
Thank you.
Brent says, depends on how you look at it. You have many choices to make, and you see what the results of those are in the galaxy, but the actual ending is the same until you do enough NG plus runs. Right. Right. Okay. It's disappointing. I don't know. I mean, maybe I'm sounding a little cynical right now, but I have not liked a lot of what Bethesda's put out lately. I still love them. I love them forever. But I'm not feeling everything lately. I don't know. Are there any games out on the horizon? Sencho just says, I just found are Star Wars lightsabers on TV deadly enough? Here's what doctors say on Polygon. Can't wait to read this. I hate this. How is this journalism? Sencho, that can't be real. Does it say parody? Please tell me it says parody. Because lightsabers, as we know, they don't produce heat. Oh my gosh, I'm about to go super nerdy. They are light. But they can decapitate you, as we've seen. They can stab you in the heart, stab at the heart of thee. And also you can stab Obi-Wan and he disappears into nothing.
The rules of yeah, I've done that bit now, by the way. So the rules of lightsabers are not clearly defined across the entirety of the OT.
Yeah, and it sucks.
And even less so since Disney have taken the reins.
Yep.
So, yeah, Obi-Wan or Ben can disappear into complete nothingness.
Apollo
Darth Maul can be chopped in half.
Yes.
Qui-Gon can be stabbed through the gut and die, but but Sabine gets stabbed in the gut exactly the same way that Qui-Gon does, and she absolutely survives and takes 1 day's rest.
Yes. There's nothing consistent.
And that's not just calling out Ahsoka, that's calling out Lucas, because he is also a bit of a moron when it comes to...
Well, he is. I mean, like, the best Return of the...
Do you mean Revenge of the Jedi?
No, I was going to say the best Star Wars film, which is Return of the Jedi. Wrong. Inherently wrong. Empire Strikes Back?
100%.
Okay. It's good, but I do
love you. I know.
Okay, I do love that. Okay, fine.
There you... Come on.
Alright. Is that the one, though, that was directed by a female? A woman did it. One of those.
I don't believe it was. It wasn't directed by Lucas, I can tell you that.
No, exactly. Well, that's actually my point, if I'm being honest. He didn't actually direct the good ones.
He's a good story conceptor.
Yes.
And ideas man.
Yes.
But writing dialogue, not the greatest.
Although,
I mean, let's be honest, some of the dialogue in Indiana Jones films are...
Oh gosh. Like, oh, Pete's frozen again. Pete, you froze a little bit.
No, you had as well.
Well, I think to you I probably have, but to the audience it was you. But, no, the dialogue in... I love Indiana Jones, don't get me wrong. But the dialogue's not great. But I miss, like, all that kind of adventure-y stuff.
Yeah.
We've talked about it before. Oh, I've got to read what Cincho's written.
It is fine. I mean, it could be worse. You could have an Indiana Jones film that was made by James Mangold.
Yeah.
That was overseen by one Kathleen Kennedy.
I knew you were going to say this.
And has a very, very, very old Indiana Jones being bossed around by girl boss Phoebe Waller-Bridge.
Yeah. I hate it.
And it's still worse than the worst Indiana Jones film, which is Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
No, thank you.
Oh boy.
Oh, they should have never...
Oh, I gave you a new hobby? Oh god. That's not a good thing, by the way.
They should...
Please read this.
Okay. Cincho says, well, there is, quote, our expert is Dr. Owen McCabe, an MD board certified in general surgery and surgical critical care. He works for District Medical Group and staffs Valleywise Health Medical Center in Phoenix, Arizona. So they kind of went in hard. Yeah, too hard. That's what she said. Too hard, I would think, for a freaking gaming thing. I think, based on my understanding of lightsabers, my thoughts about I hate this already, tissue transfer, and a little bit of extrapolating from our plasma blade, that the primary thing that's going to happen to tissue that comes into contact with a lightsaber is it's going to be vaporized. Yes, that's established in the first episode, A New Hope, McCabe says, noting that in the terms of cauterization, there's sort of a conflicting thoughts. It's because there's no heat. That's the conflicting thoughts. That's what people have argued on news groups for years, is because a lightsaber doesn't produce heat. So is it truly cauterizing? No, it's vaporizing. Holy crap, I got sucked into it, didn't I, Pete? I fell for it.
You did.
You know what? Going off on one of my tangents. That's also very reminiscent of Cyclops' laser eyes. Cyclops' eyes do not produce heat. They are purely light lasers. They're lightsabers. They're exactly lightsabers, but they shoot from his eyes, and they're charged by the sun. And they're also released, by the way. I'm such a nerd. I don't care. There's a button hidden on Scott Summers' various costumes. And so he's not like, pew, pew, pew. He's pushing it. That's also explored in the comics. I'm a nerd. I don't care.
Look, we're all somewhat nerdy to some degree on this.
Super nerdy. Scott Summers' eyes are just lightsabers. Well, eye beams are lightsabers. They're the same. Also, I want a lightsaber.
I mean, who doesn't?
But, lightsabers are basically holograms, but with lasers in them. It would work like a CO2 laser, which would... No, it would vaporize, not cauterize. Oh, we've got to change this. This is too nerdy. Everyone's going to hate me.
How many of the comments have you gone through?
None of them.
Brilliant. I gave you one job.
I have one job on this ship. One job. Yeah.
Yeah. Get up.
I like when Cincho said, what is a duck? Duck is the common name for numerous species of waterfowl in the family Antidae. Ducks are generally smaller and shorter necked than swans and geese, which are members of the same family. He did that because they defined what I almost said the F word. Freaking cop is.
Yep. Yes, they did.
I hate this. Pete, you're going to subject me to that every week. That we do a news episode.
Yes.
I'm going to shrivel up and die.
Well,
cringe.
if I had to suffer reading that headline alone, then you do too.
Oh my gosh.
Remember what they say about misery?
Ugh, I am not company. I'm not good company.
Well, you managed to be so for 180 episodes so far,
That's
so
true. That is true.
Give yourself some credit.
Yes.
Also, because I want to torture you.
Yes.
Can't have you quitting the show over this.
No. I'm a glutton for punishment. Nana says, even as a non-Star Wars fan, lightsabers are cool. And Cincho says, how the heck do I archive this article? Pete, you have to do all that stuff.
Send me the link. I will do it.
Do it.
Do it.
Do it.
Do it. Let the hate flow through you.
So much. Do it.
Somehow, Palpatine has returned.
Yeah.
Shittiest
it.
cruel of all time.
I hate it so much. Oh my
It's
goodness.
probably why the let's call it the fandom menace.
Use your anger.
Yeah,
See,
the fandom menace.
Yeah.
And some other people online have started calling that particular director Jar Jar Abrams.
Oh gosh, that works.
It does work, and that's why I mentioned it, because it actually is appropriate.
I still love the whole Jar Jar is a Sith Lord.
But I don't
Conspiracy.
trust Disney to actually do that well. That's the problem.
I know, but it
I
really
also
is
wouldn't
well
trust
done.
George Lucas to do it well.
I don't even know. I don't even know. But anyway, I think we're gonna wrap this up.
Yeah, it's been a nearly 3-hour stream
Yeah,
again.
and it's almost 10 o'clock at night.
I know.
Yeah, I know. Sinjo says Disney is wrecking every franchise these days. Oh, I had a friend that went to Florida and they went to, Universal Studios, obviously,
Yep.
which is next to Disney World. And they had a Last of Us, horror thing. It was really well done.
I could imagine it was, but what the hell?
Okay, it was a little bit stupid and kind of cheesy, but there were parts of it that were really well done.
But that's what I mean. We've just recently gone through like a massive global pandemic, and yet they're creating a section of this world to do with a globalized apocalypse.
They sent me the pictures, and it did. It looked like it was like even the food that you go and get at the snack bar is in ration cans and stuff like that.
I knew they were gonna do that. That's such a.
But here's where I was like, okay, so one of the food areas they had what was called the cordyceps dog. It was a corn dog, but it was like it had things all over it, so it looked all like mushroomy or whatever, like cordyceps. But why do you call your, like, if you're immersed in this land of, The Last of Us or whatever, why do you call your stuff like the cordyceps dog? Like, you wouldn't sell that back then. It took me out of it as an observer. But anyway, I'm gonna wrap this up. And yet, Disney needs to stop buying things up.
I will save my thoughts on a certain show that came out this week for a certain other podcast that I do called The Never Watchers. Please go and subscribe.
Yeah, go subscribe to that. But what show, Pete? Just give me a clue.
Loki Season 2.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Loki Season 2.
You know what I've been watching? I'm still watching?
Go on.
I'm still watching Gotham.
Of course you are.
It's so badly written that I want to quit, but then it will do these amazing moments, which I'm just like, okay, I love you again. So I don't even know my thoughts on Gotham. I'm on season 2. I'm only like halfway through it, and I don't know. Sometimes it's really terrible and awful, and sometimes it's amazing. So there you go, American TV for you. Okay, we're wrapping this up. What?
Just TV.
Just TV, yeah.
I think TV now is kind of poopy.
It is. There's only a few bright spots ever so often, as we talk about on the show way too much. Anyway, we're wrapping this up because I don't feel so good. I'm going to go crash. But look, I just want to put proof out there for my trainers. I only had about 3 full glasses of wine tonight.
Nice.
So I kept to it. Yeah.
Good.
I have to run this week. I have to run 3 miles.
Oh, cardio, your worst thing.
Oh, I hate it. Cardio is cardio.
What was the Q&A on again? Oh, yeah, that was it.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you again to our wonderful, beautiful, fabulous chat. We have loved having you here. You've been amazing. You crack us up every week. And please share with your friends and watch stuff and leave reviews if you feel like it. Don't feel obligated to ever. I'm just saying if you think about it. I think that's gonna do it for us. So we will see you next week. Bye.
Bye-bye.